Tom Hammond on an unseasonably warm afternoon at Notre Dame as the Irish host Air Force. The Falcons 3-1 coming off an emotional 1-point win over Navy. Brian Kelly and the Irish, though, are hot, having won 3 straight, including their most complete game last week at Purdue. Notre Dame Air Force coming up after we send you to our studio in New York.
Welcome to the U.S. Bank NBC Sports Report. Here's your host, Liam McHugh.
Hey everyone, welcome to our New York studio. Liam McHugh alongside Doug Flutie as we count down to kickoff between Notre Dame and Air Force. Doug, the Irish have won 3 straight against Purdue, 551 yards of total offense, but perhaps the most significant number they put up, 0. They did not turn the football over at all the first time all season. What does this tell you about Tommy Rees?
I think he's learning to manage the game. You know, when you can cut down on turnovers and realize you don't have to make all the big plays all the time. Just get your short completions, manage the clock, manage the game. His biggest challenge is going to be in those situations when they're not playing Purdue, where he has to go down the field with the ball, be aggressive, and then still protect the ball in those situations, and that's his biggest challenge.
Somewhat ironically, Air Force tends to keep things on the ground. The Falcons have the 3rd best rushing attack in all the land. How difficult is it to defend this triple option?
Very difficult. With Tim Jefferson at quarterback, the added element of throwing the football is there. Tim is 4th in the nation in pass efficiency. So when he has the opportunities, he hits his shots down the field. And you have to be so aggressive out of the secondary to support the run. It allows the one-on-one matchups to take the big shot and have a free guy downfield. Notre Dame has to be aggressive in the secondary and come up to stop the option.
All right, Doug, great stuff. Turning now to some sad news from the NFL. Al Davis, one of professional football's most iconic leaders, has passed away. The owner of the Oakland Raiders, Davis was renowned for his rebellious spirit. His leadership helped the NFL develop into the most successful sports league in American history. Hall of Famer Al Davis, dead at 82. That's all for now. Doug and I will see you at halftime. We'll send you back out to South Bend right after these messages.
This has been the U.S. Bank NBC Sports Report. U.S. Bank, all of us serving you.
As autumn begins to display its colors on the Notre Dame campus, there's a new confidence around Notre Dame football. After a disastrous 0-2 start, the Irish seem to be living up to preseason expectations and now ride a 3-game winning streak. Last week at Purdue, Notre Dame had its most complete game yet, whipping the Boilermakers 38-10 on a week where everything seemed to click.
Here is Rees. He's looking deep again. Downfield throw. It's beautifully thrown for a touchdown. Michael Floyd. Absolute perfection.
So after streaks of good and bad play this year, Irish fans wonder which team will step to the front in the second half of the season, beginning with today's challenge against Air Force.
We're going to play a very good team. You can't take a deep breath and go, okay, we've arrived, because Air Force will beat you.
Good snap. Up. Air Force punch it. 35-34.
When you're playing any military academy, you can expect hard-nosed, tough guys that never stop fighting.
They strive for perfection. You know they're going to be disciplined. You know they're going to be playing hard to every whistle.
To be playing in Notre Dame, in South Bend, is one of the experiences that you'll never be able to match.
Sundress sellout crowd at Notre Dame Stadium as the Irish get set to host the Falcons of Air Force. The Irish hoping to build on their current 3-game winning streak as they come in with a record of 3-2. And here come the Irish. Seems to be living up to those lofty preseason expectations. Last week against Purdue was their most complete game yet. Coach Kelly telling us he hopes to build on that as the Irish continue with this season now with a record of 3-2. And they'll face an Air Force team that is a dangerous team as they have a record of 3-1 after that thrilling 1-point overtime victory over Navy a week ago. Hello, Rudman. Welcome to Notre Dame Stadium. Tom Hammond, Mike Mayock, ready for the Falcons and the Irish. And Mike, when you think of Service Academy football, you think triple option. But in this case, the reality is that Air Force really has a pretty diversified attack.
Yeah, their basis is, Tom, and always will be option football. But this Air Force Academy team can throw the football. Their quarterback, Tim Jefferson, is a senior. He's completed 70% of his passes, and he specializes in explosion plays off play action. So, Tom, they might not throw the football a lot, but they're extremely efficient when they do.
See the Air Force Falcons making their appearance with their coach Troy Calhoun, who was a player for the Air Force Academy. He was a quarterback and made a couple of trips in here to Notre Dame Stadium to play. And of course, we talked about the Notre Dame defense. They've been pretty good in this 3-game winning streak, but today, boy, you got to have patience against Air Force.
Yeah, and I don't really care how big and fast you are. And Notre Dame's bigger, they're faster, they're stronger. But if you allow the academy players into your legs, it's like chopping wood. You're going down. So the key is to acclimate your eye level and your pad level. You've got to play much lower than you're used to. And while you're doing that, you better not fall behind on the scoreboard.
And Notre Dame offense, Tommy Rees at quarterback, had a problem with turnovers earlier in the season. Against Purdue last week, no Irish turnovers.
Yeah, and he's got 9 turnovers on the season. He's got to play a clean game. And typically when you play an option team, they minimize your touches. So every mistake is magnified. Tom, if it's me, heck, I'm running the football. I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm faster. And then I'm going to take advantage of my athletic mismatches. Tyler Eifert on the inside, and of course, Michael Floyd on the outside.
So we'll see how all that plays out. In the meantime, as kickoff approaches, let's go to the sideline and check in with Alex Flanagan.
Hey, Tom. Well, Troy Calhoun in his 5th season as Air Force's head coach. He is the first ever Academy graduate to be the head coach at Air Force. Now, Calhoun does not have a single 5-star recruit on his roster, unlike Notre Dame. So he has to win his games with effort and discipline. If you look at the matchups on paper, they just don't make sense. Case in point, take a look at one of the matchups that we'll likely see today between Notre Dame wide receiver Michael Floyd and Air Force cornerback Anthony Wright. Wright is 5'10", 190. Michael Floyd 6'3", 225. Anthony, saying that you can't have big eyes though when you come into Notre Dame. And Tom, as we well know, size and speed don't always win football games.
That's right, Alex. Anthony was not intimidated at all by the prospect of covering Michael Floyd. Irish lead the series 22-6, but the last time the Air Force flew into Notre Dame, they beat the Irish in the first year of Troy Calhoun's regime as the Air Force head coach. Can you believe this? October 8th, look at the weather. 82 degrees at Notre Dame Stadium without a cloud in the sky. Notre Dame won the toss, and they elect to take the football to start as the Air Force gets set to kick it off. So there's Soderberg, number 99, who will kick it off for Air Force. And deep for the Irish will be George Atkinson. Atkinson, you remember, the son of the former All-Pro Raiders player, took 189 yards against Michigan State. Takes this one at the goal line. Atkinson didn't get much, stopped short of the 20-yard line. Let's take a look now at our starting lineups, brought to you by Adidas. And here's the Notre Dame offensive line. Zach Martin at left tackle, offensive line that will have a big size advantage today. And in the backfield, Sierra Wood, after a career game last week, rushing for 191 yards against Purdue. So Tommy Rees, the quarterback. As the Irish actually begin here with 2 tight ends, Eifert and Koyak. And Sierra Wood is the running back. Short drop and a whip out to Michael Floyd on first down. So there they show you. Cover him if you can. That's a gain of 12 on the first play from scrimmage.
All day long if Josh Hall's going to play off like that. Look at that. Are you kidding me? I'm throwing that to Michael Floyd no matter what the play was at the line of scrimmage. I'm going to throw a smoke out to him and let him pick up the 12, Tom.
So Hall made the tackle after a 12-yard gain on the first play from scrimmage. Sierra Wood's first carry, dancing in the hole, and only got a yard or 2. John Davis up quickly from a safety spot to stop him. Here's the Air Force defensive lineup brought to you by Adidas. And this defense really hampered by injuries. This is a patchwork defense. Means normally an outside linebacker. Amack, the top tackler, had a Mountain West record 23 tackles against Navy last week. And there's Wright starting his 38th straight game. He has 11 career interceptions.
Both corners soft and off right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tommy just throw it out there.
That's what he has in mind. And tipped at the line and incomplete. Ball was tipped. So the tip pass incomplete, bringing up third down for Reese and the Irish. It'll be third and long.
Air Force came out in their nickel package. Number 9, Alex Means, the defensive end, is 6'5", and there he is right there in the middle of the screen. 6'5", really the only guy with the length and athletic ability in that front to get instant pressure. Does a great job getting his hands up and deflecting.
So the first big third down of the game. Reese from the shotgun. Pressure picked up by the Irish, and he completes it to Theo Riddick. And Riddick will have a first down for the Irish, a 9-yard gain. And the coach is telling us, Mike, that they want to make a special effort to get the ball in the hands of Theo Riddick more today.
Yeah, and you know what? The key here is if you play for Brian Kelly, you've got to block and pass protection. Excellent job picking up the blitzing linebacker. Brian Lindsay gives Tommy Reese enough time. And Tom, as you said, they're going to try to manufacture touches for Theo Riddick.
And it's complete again to Riddick. And Riddick makes a couple miss. Nice cut back all the way to the 35-yard line. Nice run after the catch by Theo Riddick. It covers 23 yards before he's tracked down by Brian Lindsay.
Tom, you were right on target, man. When you talk about manufacturing touches, look where Theo Riddick lines up on this play. He's in the backfield. He's going to motion out. When that happens, the pressure's on Michael Floyd down here to get the block. He gets the key block, and now an athlete in space, you make people miss, and a big gain for the Irish.
Michael Floyd has done a good job blocking from his wide receiver.
He really has.
Spot all season long.
And a lot of the pro scouts I've talked to have been impressed by that.
Right. Reese, pass, off target, a little wide and into coverage too. Anthony Wright was there covering for the Air Force against Riddick.
Anthony Wright is their best corner. He plays into the boundary, and I thought he did a real nice job. He showed press. He came back off the ball and broke on it when Tom threw it.
There you saw the numbers for Tommy Reese. And the problem has been the 6 interceptions and the 3 fumbles. But as we said, he was turnover free, as was the entire Irish team last week. Swing pass complete to Wood. Sierra Wood. Hit right at the line of scrimmage by Anthony Wooding Jr. So Air Force did a good job of defending that pass to the running back Wood.
Tom, we talked a little bit in our open about maximizing your touches when you get the football, because with an option attack, they typically dominate the line of scrimmage, hold on to the football long. So every chance you get an offensive series, you've got to make the most out of it, more so than in most games.
Here's another third and long for the Irish on the opening drive of the game. They converted one a moment ago. Good protection for Reese. Going for the end zone for Floyd. He caught it, and it's a touchdown. Had to wait for the signal, but it was a touchdown. An acrobatic move by Michael Floyd. Went up to get the football and somehow got a foot down for a 34-yard touchdown.
Really good design on this play. He's the inside guy running a wheel route. The outside guy, Eifert, goes in. Michael Floyd goes out. And then Tom, he's got some of the quickest and strongest hands in college football. When he elevates, watch him snatch the football at its highest point, get his foot down.
I believe he was out of bounds. I believe that left foot was out of bounds, and they will review it.
Yep, they should review that.
This is a Big East replay group, as always at Notre Dame Stadium. The officials.
It's under further review. Ruling on the field was touchdown.
That's Greg Burks. The officials assigned today by the Big 12 Conference. And the Big East replay officials will review it.
Yeah, this is a huge call. 3rd and 9, either touchdown or a long field goal. What's the first? Does the ball cross the line with possession, or does the foot come down first? See, he's still juggling that ball a little bit. His foot's down. I think you're right, Tom. I think he's out of bounds. I think they're going to overturn that. Here's a good angle right here. Wow, is that great elevation?
Yeah, still what an athletic move by Michael Floyd.
Yeah. You could make a point that if his toe hit the pylon before anything went out of bounds, it's a touchdown. If he had possession when the toe hit, but I really do think that left foot came down out of bounds. Wow, is that close? Because we don't see the football there, but we're assuming he's got possession up top. I don't think he had full possession, and I think he was out of bounds, Tom. You with me?
Close call. Yes, I agree.
With me? I want you on the record here.
I'm on the record.
Okay. No straddling the line here, big boy.
No, I think that his foot was out of bounds.
Yeah.
Didn't have complete possession. Overturned.
And again, huge play because that was 3rd and 9.
And
what was the line of scrimmage there? Let's figure this out. Line of scrimmage, I believe, was about the 34, 33. So effectively, it's a plus or minus 50-yard field goal attempt versus a score.
After further review, play stands as called.
Wow.
Touchdown.
All right, so the play stands as called. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Well, Tom, we went 0 for 2 there, pal.
What's unusual about that?
Again, possession, and if the first thing that hits is his foot on the pylon, it's a touchdown. And I guess they felt like it wasn't conclusive enough evidence to overturn, and it's a touchdown.
So David Ruffer will attempt the point after. Ruffer's kick is good. Tommy Rees hitting 5 of 7 for 79 yards, including the touchdown to Floyd. 7-0 Notre Dame. Notre Dame ball is brought to you by Add a Zero 5-star, 6.9 ounces, the lightest ever. By Liberty Mutual Insurance. Responsibility. What's your policy? By Sprint. All football, no limits. Only from Sprint. And by the all-new Volkswagen Passat. That's Das Auto. And aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything we've learned making tires that go the distance inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Michael Floyd with the 32nd receiving touchdown of his stellar Notre Dame career, the all-time record. And the Irish up 7-0. Kyle Brinza set to kick it off with Warzika and Lacoste deep for Air Force.
Where's his yellow shoes, Tom? Right?
Yeah, last home game, Michigan State. This is Warzika. Jonathan Warzika. Surrounded and thrown back by the special teams of the Irish. So let's take a look at our starting lineups, brought to you by Adidas for the Air Force offense. Wallerstein, the right tackle, slated to be an Air Force physicist. He's the only offensive lineman graded with Notre Dame style size. And Asher Clark, the top rusher, averaging over 9 yards a carry. So Tim Jefferson, the accomplished senior from Atlanta, Georgia, understands the option. And the toss to Clark. Clark got on the corner and breaks a big run down close to midfield. Then the ball stripped out and right into the arms of a Notre Dame player. It's Robert Blanton. Flag is down. 28-yard gain on the pitch to Clark, and then the ball ripped loose, recovered by Notre Dame as we wait for the penalty.
Option football. They run double option. They run triple option. They do it out of a variety of formations.
After the play, personal foul, number 19, Notre Dame. 15-yard penalty from the end, first down.
So Aaron Lynch called for a personal foul.
Look at Harrison Smith right here. Key guy running the alley. Watch him get cut by Warzika. So the guy that had to get pitched along with Jamara Slaughter got blocked. Ball gets pulled out late. And Aaron Lynch, number 19, gets called for a penalty.
Looked like Jamara Slaughter was the man that ripped the ball loose. And then Blanton recovered.
Good call, Tom. There's Slaughter late. Ball's up in the air. Blanton certainly recovers it. The question is, will they review that on the strip?
So turnover on the first play from scrimmage for the Falcons. Irish take over at the 41-yard line.
Comes a run play, 2 high safeties.
Reverse. Riddick. Theo Riddick trying to get a block. And we'll have a first down as he goes into Falcon territory to the 45-yard line. 14 yards on the reverse. Anthony Wooding makes the tackle.
Fun football. Big day for Notre Dame. You get a touchdown. You get a fumble on the first play. Now watch Zach Martin right here come around and get a block at the second level. Much too fast for Brian Lindsay. That's where you see, Tom, better athlete.
And here's Andrew Hendricks now into the game for Notre Dame. The freshman from Cincinnati getting his first action this season. Lined up in the shotgun. Air Force shows blitz. Hendricks completes, but right to Michael Floyd, who took a hit immediately upon receiving the ball from Josh Hall. A loss of 3.
T.J. Jones and Theo Riddick are having a conversation about who was supposed to block Josh Hall. I'm going to tell you right now, if you whiff out on the edge, this is what happens. You can see number 7, T.J. Jones, let him go. If I was Michael Floyd, I'd be looking at him and say, fellas, I've been blocking for your guys all year long. How about a little reciprocity?
So now facing a second down and 13, Hendricks out and Reese returns. Tommy Reese crossing route, caught. Theo Riddick. Riddick broke one tackle, dives just short of the first down. That's an 11-yard gain.
Manufactured touches, just a little crossing route. Good job by Tommy because they had high coverage, 3 deep, 3-man zone across, so you check it down. And now you've got a one-on-one with Jameel Cooks, their outside linebacker. He breaks the tackle, maximizes the gain.
32. So 3rd and 2 as the Irish come with 2 tight ends, Eifert and Koyak.
And Tom, this causes you a problem. The run strength is the bottom of the screen. The pass strength is up top.
Jonas Gray's first carry on the toss and has the first down. So John Davis and Brady Amack make the tackle, but not until he had a 6-yard gain. And first down Irish. Stray with nearly 100 yards against Purdue last week when Sierra Wood had 191 as the Irish got that ground attack rolling. First down Notre Dame. Today's first down line brought to you by Xerox. Blitz picked up momentarily by Notre Dame as Reese sails it too deep in the end zone intended for Floyd. So the Air Force pressure from Brady Amack forces the errant throw by Reese.
Yeah, that kind of would bother me now. You've got a situation where a 230-pound back ought to pick up Amack, the blitzer. If he does, you see him turn his head like that, that's horrible technique. You've got to stay square, and because of that, Tommy Reese had to throw the football too early, and folks, you had a one-on-one with Michael Floyd at the post.
2nd and 10 from the 31 of the Falcons. This is after an Air Force turnover. Gray, Jonas Gray, shook one man, now cuts back and is blasting his way down to the 10-yard line. John Davis took the worst of it as he made the hit for Air Force, a 20-yard ramble by Jonas Gray.
And as bad as that last play was, is as good as this one is. Watch Jonas Gray make somebody miss right at the line of scrimmage, right there. Ben Kopaka can't get him. The cutback. Tom, this is a guy that's playing himself into NFL consideration. He was off everybody's boards, and now all of a sudden he's so big, strong, and athletic.
Hendricks back in, running the option and keeping close to the 5-yard line. Andrew Hendricks, the freshman from Cincinnati, the quarterback that had not played before this game, and Coach Brian Kelly telling us that he was thinking long and hard about when to use it because he had a whole package that he wanted to put in for Hendricks to run. And now Reese returns, but he said he wanted to do it while the Irish were doing well, not put him in a bad spot, not to make it look either like Tommy Reese was being demoted, because that was not the case. So Reese back in. 2nd down. Fake the toss. Reese rolling, throwing across his body, but incomplete, intended for Floyd. Brian Kelly telling us that Floyd and Reese had worked long and hard on the fade route during practice this week because it just didn't quite click against Purdue, although most everything else did.
And if there's one critique I would offer, let's forget the turnovers for a second about Tommy Reese as far as his technique and the way he delivers the football. I think he throws it impeccably inside the numbers, but when he throws it, especially in the red zone, in the end zone, there's been too many cases, Tom, where it's out of the end zone or out of bounds.
3rd and 4. Notre Dame has converted 3 for 3 on 3rd downs. Reese to the end zone. Caught for the touchdown by Eifert. Tyler Eifert with his 3rd touchdown reception of the season as the Irish take advantage of the Air Force fumble and turn it into a 13-0 lead.
He just gets in behind Hennessy, number 44, who doesn't have the ability to leap up and get in front of it. Effectively a picket line set up across the goal line, and nice touch by Tommy Reese.
Rough for the point after. Ruffer's kick is good. So the Irish defense forced the fumble from Air Force, and then the offense takes care of business. It's Tommy Reese to Tyler Eifert, and the Irish up 14-0. Go to Notre Dame Extra on NBCSports.com, where you can see all the action, including an online-only bonus camera, in-game highlights, live coverage of the halftime bands, and an online-only post-game show. Go now to NBCSports.com/NDExtra, presented by Mercedes-Benz. So Kyle Brinza ready to kick it off to the Air Force Falcons. There's Brinza. And Warzika is the deep man, along with Anthony Lacoste. There's Warzika, number 15. Pretty much does it all for the Falcons. Receiver, sometime runner, and has a touchdown pass to his credit. Brinza's kick, just fielded inbounds by Warzika. Kind of tiptoes his way toward the 20-yard line, and that'll be it. So Tim Jefferson Jr. is the accomplished quarterback of the Falcons. As we take a look at our Miller Lite Taste Greatness, look at the company he keeps in terms of FBS wins among active quarterbacks. Kellen Moore of Boise, of course, leads it with Case Keenum of Houston, and then Jefferson and Andrew Luck tied with 24 wins each. So rarefied air for Tim Jefferson Jr., who's been the starter in 3 straight bowl games for the Falcons. And his first pass to Warzika is on target to the 45-yard line. That's a 24-yard gain before Harrison Smith is able to stop him.
And often what you ask your free safety to do is run the alley in option football. There's Harrison Smith. He sees the run fake, goes over top, and gets beat back across his face by Warzika.
No huddle by the Falcons, as they like to play up-tempo football. This is, remember, they had a good game before the fumble on the first play from scrimmage. This is just the 3rd, and that pass was a long game. So the offense, despite the turnover. Here's Clark on the pitch, and he gets the corner again. That's twice he's gone around the corner on the left. 21-yard gain. Robert Blanton blasts him out of bounds.
Option football once again, and no contain. This is just a double option. Speed option where the lead back, Wes Cobb, gets a block out on the edge. Good pitch. Look at this. The lead blocker is 16 yards down the field before contact. Notre Dame is not taking care of business on the edges. The pitch man, look at the hit on the bench. Wow. Asher Clark is limping after getting pushed into the bench there.
Asher Clark, the senior from Lawrenceville, Georgia, averaging over 9 yards a carry. Coming into today's game. Was second team All Mountain West a year ago. Was a state champion power lifter at Peachtree Ridge High School in Georgia. Not to mention a 3.9 grade point average.
What happens is Blanton comes off a block. That's a legal hit there. There's nothing wrong with that. However, unfortunately for Asher Clark, he went, you know, we're talking about a kid that's barely 190 pounds. He went barreling into the bench. Never missed a game here, and a highly productive tailback in this offense.
2 rushes for 50 yards today. One of them, of course, wound up in a fumble. Jefferson puts it downfield for the end zone. And it's broken up. DeMorris Slaughter able to break it up for Notre Dame, intended for Ty MacArthur.
Yeah, really nice job by Slaughter finding the football. I talked about man coverage when you play option teams. The motion man, number 27, MacArthur. Watch him take it up the field. Nice job by Slaughter, fighting for a pick, and now his eyes go up, your eyes go up. Really nice job by Slaughter.
2nd and 10. Pitch. This is Jones, Darius Jones, the backup to Clark, makes a nice move, breaks a tackle, gets down the sideline for an Air Force first down. Nice run by Darius Jones, only 5'9", 160 pounds, junior from Atlanta. That's his 10th carry of the season, goes for 13.
They're chopping Notre Dame up on the edge. Watch the wide receiver come down and block in here, right there. Good job at the point of attack. Really nice job by Mikael Hunter on the edge.
First down from the Irish 22. Reverse. Warzika with nowhere to go. Manti Te'o played that one beautifully. Loss of 1.
Speed, intensity, production. That's what Te'o is. Here he is. He's going to read and watch the reaction. Here it comes. He ducks inside the block of Wes Cobb, who probably should have loaded on him, but Cobb went to the 3rd level, leaving the 2nd level defender, Manti Te'o, in the open field. And Tom, that's not a guy you want to see like that.
Sets up 2nd and 11 from the Irish 23. Warzika in motion, resets to the top of the formation. Jefferson looking inside. Te'o again, he bats down the pass. It's incomplete.
Tom, really nice job. Watch him read the eyes of the quarterback, Jefferson, because the quarterback's, he's going to come into here. Watch Manti come underneath it. He's reading it, 45-degree drop. Get your other hands up, big fella, and you might score 6. Really nice job, though, on the angle and the anticipation.
3rd down and 11 for Air Forces. Te'o leads a few cheers. Why not? He's played pass defense. He's played run defense. Now he's getting the crowd fired up.
And they're off schedule. 3rd and long is awkward for these guys.
And they'll try to pick it up on the ground to Jones. And Darius will be short of the first down, short of the 15-yard line. A gain of 7, setting up, we would assume, a field goal attempt.
And Tom, we talk about getting on schedule or behind schedule. 3rd and anything 6+ for this team, it's difficult. And I think they said, hey, let's protect the 3 points. Don't do anything stupid.
So here's a 33-yard field goal attempt by Harrington. Parker Harrington sends it on its way, and it is good. So Air Force able to drive down the field. They settle for 3, but they're on the board. 14-3 indeed. 5:48 left, first quarter, 14-3 Notre Dame. Air Force just kicking a field goal from Harrington. And set to kick it off with Soderberg to do the honors. There's George Atkinson, deep man for Notre Dame.
George Atkinson is the deep man.
So Soderberg ready to hit it downfield. Atkinson about the 9-yard line on a short kick. George Atkinson dodged one man, cuts back to the sideline, and finally forced out of bounds by Soderberg, the kicker, after a 38-yard return. Well, you see a lot of pink on the sidelines today. Coaches and players wearing pink in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And it means especially a lot to Carlo Calabrese, number 44 there with his back to you, sitting on the bench. His mother, Ann, a breast cancer survivor. And Carlo has that tattoo in honor of his mother on his chest. There's his mother, Ann, wearing number 44. And there in the stands, you saw the pink fire engine that they had. They came to the game today. A lot of family and friends from Verona, New Jersey, coming to the game in a pink fire truck. Sierra Wood catches it, just snapped it right out of the air, and then has, it's like a 10-yard, 11-yard gain. First down. Alex?
Hey, Tom. Well, Carlo Calabrese certainly very proud that his mom is a breast cancer survivor. She was telling me before the game that she saw on his credit card a couple years ago that he got that tattoo, that he got a tattoo. She said she was furious and told his dad, I cannot believe he got another tattoo. I can't believe it. I'm going to kill him. And then she saw him came out with the tattoo on his chest, and she was so honored.
And the tattoo said, if only I was as strong as you. Pretty cool.
Caught by Eifert. Still going all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Notre Dame offense hard to stop today. John Davis finally getting Tyler Eifert stopped, a 23-yard gain.
Hendricks in the ball game at quarterback again. We're getting a taste of the sophomore. Here he is rolling to his right, stepping up. The ball's a little bit behind Eifert, but ironically helps him spin, get up the field, make people miss. Man, he is an athletic mismatch and a talented kid.
Worked well on the underthrow by Hendricks. Denard Robinson, of course, made a feast of that, the underthrows in the Michigan game. Here's Eifert again. Gang tackle at about the 10-yard line, a couple of yards short of the first. It's 8 yards as Eifert has come on this season to continue the great string of tight ends at Notre Dame, the junior from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Eifert now with 3 catches, 36 yards, including a touchdown.
And what a weapon with Michael Floyd outside, having to deal with him inside, right here, especially in the red zone.
2nd down and 2. Reese goes to Rick. No, to Toma. Robbie Toma with the catch for the touchdown. That's only the 2nd catch of the season for Toma. And, of course, his first touchdown.
And I love that Robbie Toma gets a taste. This kid is an undervalued player, came from Manti Te'o's high school. I think he's quicker than fast, runs good routes, difficult to break into this lineup. But when he does, like last year, I thought he was highly productive.
First touchdown of his Notre Dame career, Robbie Toma, the junior from Lae, Hawaii. And the Irish have another touchdown as Ruffers on to attempt the extra point. Still 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
Braxton Cave snapping because Cowart is hurt.
Had a little scrimmage, a little fisticuffs in the Purdue game. Broke his hand. The long snapper broke his hand. What's going on here? Notre Dame offense has not been stopped yet. Tommy Reese with another touchdown pass. This one the first ever by Robbie Toma. Notre Dame dominance first quarter, 4:07 still left, and they've scored 21 points, 21-3. The Irish over Air Force. There's Robbie Toma, who had his first touchdown reception a moment ago. Now Kyle Brinza will boot it for the Irish. Warzika and Lacoste are deep. Nice kick by Brinza. Buries it into the end zone, and Warzika will down it there. So the touchback, and Air Force will go to the 20-yard line against a Notre Dame defense that has been led by several of them in the middle. Lewis Nix gets the start, and Aaron Lynch with Ethan Johnson out with a high ankle sprain gets his first start, the freshman. Manti Te'o, we've already seen him make a play in pass defense and run defense. And of course Robert Blanton has been a stellar defensive back for the Irish all season long. Notre Dame defensive lineups brought to you by Adidas. First down for Air Force. They've been able to move the ball up and down the field. Got only a field goal and fumbled once. Option. Jefferson pitch. Jones crosses the 25-yard line. Stopped by Jaboris Slaughter. Remember, Asher Clark, the leading ground gainer for Air Force, went out with an injury after being knocked into the Notre Dame bench on a run by Harrison Smith. Alex?
Yeah, Tom, he's been working with the trainer on the sideline. They wrapped his left thigh. It looks like he may have bruised it when he hit the bench. It was not cut or bleeding. They're working with him right now. He's out of the game.
Hunter on the reverse. Guess who? Manti Te'o. He hasn't been fooled yet. He's made some really outstanding plays, especially against the Gadgets.
And Te'o, I think, has done a great job. That's misdirection. He follows his key, which is the fullback. Fullback takes him to the football. even with the misdirection. Look at the quickness, the ability to flash and make a tackle in open space. That is a big-time play by Tate.
And Mike, as you say, now off schedule again. Air Force, these third and longs are difficult for the service academies. Air Force more depth than most, maybe, and they convert that one with a pass to Joshua Freeman, the tight end, who takes it for 16 yards and a Falcon first down. Big third down conversion by Air Force.
And we talked about this kid being able to throw the football. Here they are in a tight bunch set. The tight end, Freeman, comes down the field, works his way inside on Zeke Mauda, and I'll tell you, Tom, for an academy or option type offense, look at this throw. Down the field, 16 or 18 yards. He's got a better arm and more accuracy than people give him credit for.
Tim Jefferson, the senior from Atlanta. And to the fullback, Mike DeWitt gets his first carry of the day. And nets about 3. There's Asher Clark over on the Air Force sideline after that injury, trying to shake it off.
They're going fast here. Notre Dame's not ready.
Jones, Darius Jones, breaks a couple of tackles inside the 40-yard line of the Irish. Caught him napping, maybe. Gray stops him after 19.
They got fast and super fast, Coach Calhoun told us. And that time they went to their super fast, no huddle at the line of scrimmage. Notre Dame wasn't ready. Here they are up again.
High formation this time. Fullback. Not much there for Mike DeWitt. Got a yard on the play, 2nd and 9.
Now, I enjoyed our conversation, Tom, with Tim Jefferson the other day on the phone. You know, interesting kid from the Atlanta area. Really enjoyed the bowl game last year where they beat his hometown Georgia Tech team.
Yeah, that was especially sweet. Jefferson keeping there. Jefferson, who wants to go to pilot training, but has a little eye issue that they're trying to receive a waiver for. Instead, as the Air Force cadets found out their military assignments this past week, will be an airfield operations officer unless he can get that waiver to take pilot training. He came to the Air Force Academy to be a pilot, has wanted to be a pilot since he was 4 or 5 years old. Here he hands off to his tailback. And again, not much. And Jefferson, this was one of the most interesting things I thought about him, Mike, is that he listens to Beethoven's Ninth Symphony before every game. On 4th down, they'll go for it. Fullback picks up the first down. Wes Cobb gets the carry. It's a clutch one as they convert on 4th down to keep the drive going.
Job by the left guard, Eason, and here they are right back on the football. Talking to Mike Thiessen, their wide receiver and co-offensive coordinator on the field before the game. He said, when we go super fast, it's difficult for teams to get their calls out onto the field.
Jefferson after the fake has it and is on target with the pass to Zach Cal. Cal, the senior from Dayton, Ohio, with his first reception, 11th of the season, 13 yards, Air Force first down.
Here they go again. They're hurrying up back to the line of scrimmage.
Final seconds of the first quarter.
Unbalanced into the boundary.
High formation, hand off to the fullback. Cobb, a couple of tough yards on what could be the final play of the first quarter.
They went unbalanced formation into the sideline. They make you deal with an awful lot of formations. And if you don't line up correctly, trust me, they will take advantage.
See if they can get this play off before the quarter ends. And they will not. So Air Force is driving, but the first quarter has belonged to Notre Dame. Into the first quarter with the Irish leading the Falcons 21-3. We'll return to Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local NBC station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. Mike Mayock, Alex Flanagan, Notre Dame Stadium on an 80-degree afternoon, and the offense is clicking for both teams in that first quarter. Air Force only has 3 points to show for it, but they're driving now. Notre Dame put up 21 in the first period as we start the second.
And no panic from Air Force, down 21-3, methodically driving the football back into the red zone.
2nd and 8 from the Notre Dame 13. Option. Toss. Jones. Darius Jones upended at the 5-yard line by Robert Blanton. That is a gain of 7. It'll bring up a 3rd down for Air Force.
Tom, we talk about triple option. That's a double option known as a speed option. DeWitt with the block on the edge.
3rd down and a yard.
Don't think they were set.
So the penalty markers come down.
Yep.
That could be a costly penalty. It was 3rd and a yard. Now
False start.
looking at 3rd and 6.
75 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Jason Kahns, the 2-year starter for the Air Force up front, called for the false start. So now 3rd down and 6, much more difficult for the Air Force offense.
Wow. Notre Dame defense has been stout against the run this entire season. Today, Air Force cutting them up.
It's still only 3 points. Looking for more on this key 3rd down. Jefferson kept it. Wrapped up immediately by Stephon Tuitt, the freshman defensive end.
That's another double option known as counter option. Watch the flow come this way. Now they're going to go back against flow, and the quarterback can even keep it up inside like he did or pitch it. Nice decision by the quarterback, Jefferson.
So how big was that false start penalty?
Got him off schedule, Tom, right? 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6. It's huge.
And so Parker Harrington to attempt a 25-yard field goal. Flag down.
It'll be interesting to see which way they call this, because Notre Dame twitched into the neutral zone and then Air Force moved.
Troy Calhoun not happy so far.
Referees are talking about this because there was movement on both sides. And if they get Notre Dame for causing the movement, it's a huge play, Tom.
Offsides. Defense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
See, that's what I thought. Right in the middle of the line of scrimmage, there's a twitch in here. Watch what happened. Right there. Yep. And it caused the right guard to move, but he was in the neutral zone, so it's offside Notre Dame.
Good call. And so a big penalty against Air Force hurts him. Then Notre Dame returns the favor.
That's huge.
1st and goal for Air Force. Jefferson keeps, cuts up, in for the touchdown.
That is their favorite short yardage and goal line play. Guard pulls, the fullback goes in, and the quarterback follows the fullback right into the hole. Guard's going to pull. Watch the fullback come in behind. Nice job by the quarterback Jefferson following Cobb right into the hole.
Jefferson with his 5th rushing touchdown of the season and only the 2nd rushing touchdown Notre Dame's given up this season. That's blocked and no good on the extra point by Harrington. Blocked by Darius Fleming. So Harrington's extra point blocked by Fleming. It remains 21-9 Notre Dame. The Air Force Falcon made the trip. Wonder if he flew.
He may have.
21-9 as the extra point is blocked. So Air Force with 9 points on the board, but trailing 21-9 and set to kick it off with Soderberg.
Quite the dance they got going there, Tom. What do you think?
I'm not sure what it's supposed to achieve, but
I'd like to see you in that lineup.
Right.
What do you think? Right on the end? What do you think?
So the chorus line breaks up, and Soderberg is ready to send it toward Atkinson.
You have to be aware for mortar kicks also. Real high and short.
Like that. Onside attempt. Didn't go 10 yards. And picked up by Notre Dame. Grabbed by Bennett Jackson.
He could have run that, Tom. If he took his time and caught it, it's a touchdown.
Ducked out of bounds, but he recovered it. Air Force was in position to get it, but it hadn't gone 10 yards.
Watch him. There he is right there. I love the hustle. Look at him come. Bennett Jackson come all the way across. The Air Force people are all staying away from it.
You got to just wrap it up if you're Air Force. Prevent the run.
Exactly. You know it's not going 10 yards at that point. Heads up play by Bennett Jackson.
If he'd been able to tightrope down the sideline, that would have been something.
And field position. Ooh, is that a bit? 21-9. Very aggressive move by Coach Troy Calhoun.
Already Notre Dame has gotten a touchdown off a fumble by Air Force. Now they take over at the 38-yard line. And Reese has been hot. 3 touchdown passes already. Handoff to Jonas Gray. Ryan Lindsay after a gain of 9. Tommy Reese 10 of 14 through the air so far today. 124 yards, 3 touchdowns to 3 different receivers. He got it going.
I like this kid's mental toughness, Tom. We watched that Pitt tape. I thought he played poorly, and then he went 8 for 8 on the final game-winning drive.
Pretty unflappable, that's for sure. Riddick can't get away, tackled, but he's inside the 25-yard line and has a first down. Jordan Waiwaiole making the tackle for Air Force.
Interesting how they're choosing to work Reese and Hendrickson together today. It's been Hendrickson for a snap or 2. Obviously, Reese, the starter. Hendricks just brings a little different dimension to the ball game.
As we said earlier, Coach Kelly said he had a whole package for him to operate. A little different from the Tommy Reese, who's not that mobile. Here's Eifert. Eifert will be marked out of bounds just short of the 10-yard line. Anthony Wright forced him out. That's a 13-yard gain. Chains move again.
When you line up Eifert and Floyd on the same time, on the same side of the field, you can't double team them. That's just pitch and catch right there for Tommy Reese. Way too easy.
From the 11, first down Irish. They can't make a first down without scoring. Blitz. Jonas Gray. Tough run by Gray inside the 5-yard line. Wooding and Davis stop him after 6.
And Alex Welsh, the tight end, is working himself back into the lineup after foot surgery. Watch the motion guy Welsh right here. Gets the key block. Comes back in on the nose tackle. You don't have to kill him. Just get him in, play with leverage, and allow your tailback to break off that block.
Jonas Gray averaging about 10 yards a carry here in the first half. Here's the setback as Tommy Reese changes the play. It's a hand to Gray. Gray lowers his head, pounds his way into the end zone. Bring up again that he was telling us a story yesterday about talking to Jerome Bettis, who said embrace the role of big back. And he has done that, but he's also shown us a speed dimension against Pitt when he rambled, 79 yards?
Yep. Now, watch him drop the pad level right there at contact, and then Braxton Cave, Chris Watt, Robinson, they push the pile. Short field touchdown for Notre Dame.
Air Force has been unable to stop the Irish with that patchwork defense with all their injuries as Rucker adds the extra point. So Notre Dame still has not been stopped today. Gave them a short field. They punched it in. It's 28-9. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Verizon, America's largest and most reliable wireless network. By Coca-Cola Zero, real Coke taste and 0 calories. By Delta Faucet, see what Delta can do. And by Discover Card, it pays to discover. Beautiful aerial view there of the Notre Dame campus, the Basilica, the administration building with its golden dome. As we zoom out over the quad and to the sun-drenched Notre Dame Stadium on an 80-degree afternoon, and the Irish with a big lead, 28-9, in a first half that has yet to see a punt by either team.
Good point. Didn't even recognize that.
Brinza. Another deep kick. This one 9 yards deep in the end zone, and he'll down it there. Touchback. And Troy Calhoun in his 5th season as the Air Force head coach. He played quarterback for Air Force and then became an assistant coach at his alma mater. Spent some time as an assistant at Ohio University and then at Wake Forest, where he was offensive coordinator. And then, unusual for an academy coach maybe, 4 years NFL experience before taking the job at Air Force in 2007. And in his first season, bringing his team here to Notre Dame Stadium and going back to Colorado Springs with a victory. Troy served active duty from 1989 to 1995 in the Air Force. He had wanted to be a pilot, but his eyesight was not good enough, so he was a communications officer. Here's Jefferson. First down pass dropped by Asher Clark, who made his return after being injured earlier, but then dropped that pass.
Keep in mind that Asher Clark has almost 3,000 rushing yards in his career, yet has only caught 11 passes. Maybe there's a reason for that.
One final note about Troy Calhoun. His younger sister Callie, was a multiple All-American in track and cross country at the Air Force Academy, whose college choices came down to Notre Dame or Air Force. Here's the option, and Jefferson wrapped up and stopped for a loss in the play. Fleming and Teo.
Is her name really Callie Calhoun?
It is.
Is that the deal? Is that a nickname, or is she Callie Calhoun?
Not sure about her legal name, Mike, but everyone calls her Callie, and I think 10 or 11 times she was named All-American in track and cross country. Shotgun now for Jefferson, third down and 11.
Off schedule once again. This is where Notre Dame's had their most success, off schedule on third down, because when they're on schedule, they've chopped them up at the run game.
Jefferson whips the ball complete. Oh, and a tough hit. But Freeman holds on. Joshua Freeman, 6'3", 200 pounds, a senior tight end for 14 yards, despite the big hit from Harrison Smith.
Detached tight end. Dual levels. They've got a short guy in the flat. He comes in behind and a vertical. Difficult coverage. Speed option.
Third down conversion, so they pitch it to Asher Clark. Can't get the corner that time. Short gain. Jamore Slaughter forced him out a couple of yards.
Job by Slaughter. Also by Blanton that time, not moving contained with the speed option back. Wes Cobb making the hit.
Air Force would like to have a little ball control here if they could, because they've been unable to stop the Notre Dame offense. Option, toss. Jefferson, what a great toss that was as he was going down to the ground. Tossed it to Cody Getz. It'll be short of the first down, but you have to admire the athleticism of Jefferson.
Watch the motion man and his block on Teo. This is what option football is. Here he goes in motion. Watch him cut Teo. Teo's got to get the hands and eye level down and hustle to the football. So difficult to get off that block when you turn your eyes and he's already into your knees.
Third down and 3. First option is Getz, and he is hit at the line of scrimmage, dropped for no gain. It'll be fourth down.
You would expect after they just kicked onside that 4th and 2 on your own 42-yard line, the offense will stay on the field.
And it appears that is the case.
Nope. Here they come. Thought better of it. Now, if I'm Notre Dame, I'm in punt safe, which is what they're doing. Zeke Mata comes out. Goodman, with the good hands team, comes in, but the starting defense stays in and plays a defensive call just in case.
So David Baska is on to punt the football. This would be the first punt of the game. But before it happens, Notre Dame is going to call a timeout. Timeout Irish with 8:55 left in the second quarter. Notre Dame up big. Here's our Mercedes-Benz top performances. In 2000, Air Force and Notre Dame went to overtime when the Falcons blocked Dave Adams' 28-yard field goal attempt as time expired. Then in overtime, after an Air Force field goal, Notre Dame's Joey Getherall took the pitch from Matt Lovecchio, ran around the end for a 9-yard touchdown and the game-winning score as the Irish won it 34-31. And that's Mercedes-Benz top performances.
Tom, they're going for it. We got a triple stack in their backfield. They've run midline option except for one lead play. Triple stack. Look for midline option play here.
Fourth down and 2. There's the option and the toss. And first down as Asher Clark gets about a yard beyond the first down marker to keep the drive going. Harrison Smith forced him out.
Pure power play. Watch the 2 lead backs. There's the fake to the fullback, then the load by 1 back, and the pitch to the third. Harrison Smith with the tackle too late.
Jefferson. Oh, almost picked, and it is. Jamorris Slaughter got it on the carry. Deflected first off his hands and then lying on his back. He's able to catch it for the interception.
Yeah, we're going to have to take a look at this and see if he got it cleanly off the ground. Very athletic play, good break on the football. Did you protect it and get your hands underneath? From that angle, I thought he did. There's the tip. He knows the ball's still alive. The hands are under.
Can't see on that.
Yeah, exactly. You have to see it from the other side. Notre Dame lining up very quickly, trying to get a snap in. And they did.
They got the snap off, and it's a complete pass to Eifert.
Really, really smart play by Brian Kelly, Charlie Molnar, the offensive coordinator, and Tommy Reese to get that thing snapped immediately and not give the replay officials upstairs enough time to review.
Second down. Notre Dame on its 5th possession of the first half. Sierra Wood picks up a first down. Notre Dame has had 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns. In the last 2 drives, they haven't even faced a third down. 10-yard gain that time.
Really nice identification of blitz by Tommy Reese. He moved Sierra to the other side and then ran away from an overload blitz.
Air Force 26, the line of scrimmage. And a pass complete to Riddick, but then Josh Hall makes a pretty nice play. Comes off a block to make the tackle.
T.J. Jones better start blocking some people in this bubble screen. He almost got Michael Floyd killed earlier today. That time Josh Hall gets off the block and makes a nice play.
That play lost a yard, 2nd and 11.
They've got Eifert split wide into the boundary. This is a dangerous play. Look at that. Eifert and Floyd inverted on the sideline into the boundary.
Notre Dame's 2 top receivers.
Yeah, Floyd inside, Eifert outside.
Reese looks that way and finds Floyd. Floyd knocks out of bounds after making the catch. Jamil Cooks, the linebacker, forced to cover Michael Floyd. That's not a good deal.
Yeah, they inverted that time. Clear and then come under. Really nice job trying to find creative ways to get number 3 touches. He's your best football player. Get him touches.
That's 7 yards. It's 3rd down. Air Force shows blitz. Reese stands in, delivers to Eifert. And a Notre Dame first down to the 8-yard line.
It is so nice to have so many skill position options. This time the tight end of the line of scrimmage. Look at him right in there. Waiwaioli from the inside out. Can't get there in time. And Tom, for a defensive coordinator, wow, is it difficult to try to identify all the potential mismatch prior to the snap.
Eifert with 6 receptions, 65 yards, including a touchdown already here in the first half.
Michael Floyd's one-on-one on the bottom.
Instead they'll run it. Sierra Wood untouched into the end zone.
Possessions, 5 touchdowns, zone read play, zone blocking to the front side. Good job by Zach Martin at the point of attack. Chris Watt, but the key block was Michael Floyd. Watch Floyd one more time. Gets the safety, stays on him, stays on him, stays on him. Are you kidding me? That is such a great block. NFL scouts are going to love that, but more importantly, his teammates will appreciate it.
6th rushing touchdown of the season for Sierra Wood as Rucker is on to attempt the point after. And he boots it through. Well, we mentioned in the first quarter that Michael Floyd all season has been a force blocking downfield. Showed us again why he is such an all-round player. Sunday night is football night. Don't miss America's Game of the Week as Aaron Rodgers and the defending Super Bowl champion Packers return to the scene of last year's NFC Divisional Playoff to take on the Falcons. Bob Costas hosts Football Night in America, live from Atlanta. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on NBC. And sorry to learn today of the passing of Al Davis, who was the Oakland Raiders, their head coach, their managing general partner for one of the most successful franchises in all of professional sports, inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1992. I did a Raiders game once with Joe Namath, and to listen to Al Davis and Joe Namath reminisce was really something. In fact, at the end of it, Al said, "I always wanted you to be my quarterback." And Joe Namath said to him, "I always wanted to play for you, too." Namath, of course, closed out his career with the Los Angeles Rams.
Wow, I'd have loved to have been in that room and just listen to that conversation.
Here's Warzika awaiting the Kyle Brinza kickoff. Brinza buries it again. Wow, he's been a force on kickoffs today. No return of that one. Touchback.
You know, Tom, people talk about Manti Te'o's physical capabilities all the time in his production, but what I like in this game is the fact that he's following his keys and his instincts. Look at Te'o here. This is a high misdirection offense. Look at him in the pass. Opens his hips, drives under the football. Now watch him read the fullback. All the action goes to the right. He reads fullback, misdirection, one-on-one tackle in the open field. That's beautiful. Again, watch him read the fullback. All the action goes one way. Watch where Te'o goes. Completely the other way. Beats the block, makes the tackle. So not only is he physically talented, but his instincts are solid.
Option. Clark. Well, we said the Notre Dame defense had to be patient, and they've started defending the option a bit better. Gary Gray makes that hit.
Big day for people off the mainland, huh? Got Robbie Toma and Manti Te'o, high school teammates, both enjoying a wonderful day.
Toma got a touchdown pass earlier.
This is the pure option look right here. A double wing, it's a balanced attack. They can run option either way.
Jefferson to the air, nearly intercepted.
Carlo Calabrese would have been a nice game ball to give his mom, Annie.
Alex.
Hey, Tom, when you talk about Manti Te'o and his patience, he learns that from his idol, Ray Lewis. He says, takes away from Ray his physical ability and his patience. He says that's the player that he wants to be like most, watches him and really idolizes him.
Pretty good guy to idolize if you're an inside backer, let me tell you that.
3rd down and 6 for Jefferson. Completes the pass. Close to the first down is Warzika. See the spot of the football. Looks like it'll be good enough for the first down. Carlo Calabrese made that play for the Irish.
And Tom, we're talking about Te'o and Ray Lewis, but I love the story about how his father texts him at halftime all the time and tells him what he did right and wrong. And he says his father really knows what he's talking about.
Dads are always right. Stop for a loss is Asher Clark. Robert Blanton played it well.
Much better. Now you're going to see a slow read from the inside and then Blanton making the play from the outside. There's the slow read by Slaughter. Play off that block with your hands and make a tackle. That kid has had a phenomenal year, Robert Blanton.
Under 5 minutes to go, first half. Nice cutback by Asher Clark. Then he's hit hard as he reaches the 35, 34-yard line. Darius Fleming and Dan Fox delivered the blow. You can always spot Fox with that big mane he has out the back of his helmet.
Yeah, I like him on defense. He's easy to spot. And Eifert on offense with the same thing. They're easy to see with the hair.
3rd down and 7. Pass batted down at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. And the celebration coming from Tuitt, so we'll see when he knocked it down.
We'll talk about a good-looking true freshman, 6'6", 295 pounds. He looks more like a true NFL defensive lineman. Look right over here, gets the hand up. Great job by Tuitt. Tom, the first time I saw he and Aaron Lynch on the practice field, I almost fell over. Just their body type on the hoof for 18 and 19-year-old kids is scary.
2 promising freshmen defensive end. Here the fake. Basker's going to run it. And he'll cut back and have the first down. Inside Irish territory as he crosses the midfield stripe. So David Baska with a fake punt runs for an Air Force first down. Well, they got nothing to lose at this point.
They don't. They've already tried an onside kick. Here comes the fake, and you're going to see A.J. Wallerstein. Watch him pull out and make the key block on the edge. There's the snap. My bad, Wallerstein came from the backfield that time, but there's the block on the edge. Good job by Baska, who a couple of the coaches said was one of the best athletes on their team. Makes the cut up inside, first down.
19 yards. Option. Pass to the hand to the fullback DeWitt. That's a gain of 3 yards on first down.
Can't blame them, right, Tom? You're down 35-9. You've tried an onside kick. You know, they're out here to try and win a football game. Triple stack.
First down line brought to you by Xerox. This is DeWitt breaking tackles, wrapping up the football and toting it down close to the 10-yard line. Big Mike DeWitt with a 30-yard ramble. Harrison Smith finally rides him to the ground.
Yeah, and Lewis Nix had a chance to make a play here. The big 330-pound nose tackle. Here he is right here. Comes off the block. You've got to have your hands ready when you get off the block. And again, Air Force in a hurry.
Flag flies.
Number 70, Kevin Witt jumped.
False start. 70 the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
In the back of their jerseys, Tom, freedom for all the even number players. Service for all the odd number players. Pretty cool.
Of course, as you know, these cadets of the Air Force Academy had a 5-year Air Force commitment at the conclusion of their college years.
Now they're in triple stack, which is a balanced set right down the middle.
Now changing the play, Tim Jefferson.
They snap it. Nope, didn't get it in time.
Didn't quite get it off. Delay of game, and then
Captain Lewis Moore didn't hear the whistle.
Threw Jefferson to the ground, but no flag.
Timeout, Air Force. They're first of the half.
So they called timeout to prevent the delay of game penalty. 2:39 left in the first half. Air Force threatening. Golf Channel's hit reality series Big Break Ireland returns Tuesday night for an all-new episode. And one lucky viewer will have a chance to go to the Emerald Isle and cheer on Notre Dame. Go to golfchannel.com and enter the keyword for your chance to win. We take an aerial view there of the Warren Golf Course. Here just adjacent to the Notre Dame campus. Beautiful course. Today would have been a good day to go out and play a round of golf before the game started, wouldn't it?
I was out there, Tom. Where were you? Triple stack again. So far, it's been a predetermined give to the fullback out of the stack. They have the capability of running triple option out of it, however. It's a perfectly balanced set right down the middle, forcing the defense to balance up with you.
Option and the toss. Gets inside the 10-yard line. That's a 7-yard gain. Zeke Mata will get credit for the stop.
And Harrison Smith has got to do a better job when he's running the alley of making the sure tackle. They're giving him the ability to come clean, and he's not making the tackle.
Cut back on the run by Wes Cobb. Stopped short of the 5-yard line. Manti Te'o made another hit for the Irish.
Now, Tom, the way I'd look at this thing is 4-down territory, 35-9 score. They've faked a punt. They've tried an onside kick. They're looking for touchdown, not 3 points. Look at the yards today, Tom. 203 rushing yards on, I'm going to say 17 carries.
But the Irish have surrendered only 9 points, while the offense has yet to be stopped. Notre Dame has not punted in the first half. Scored a touchdown on every possession.
Keep in mind, it's 3rd and 4. They can get a first down on the 2-yard line. 4-down territory. Look for the quarterback to keep it after faking to the fullback.
Fake. He's going to pass to the flat, complete. And it's to MacArthur. Ty MacArthur able to get it across the plane of the goal line for the Air Force touchdown.
They snuck MacArthur into fullback that time, folks, a position he doesn't typically play, just so that he could get the isolation. MacArthur is the fullback coming into the flat. Play action fake. They want to get him the football. Gary Gray late getting there, and a really nice job by MacArthur at 170 pounds, taking the punishment and extending for a touchdown.
Parker Harrington for the point after. He's had one blocked today. And this one slips through the uprights and is good. Troy Calhoun calls the fake punt. Keeps the Air Force drive going, and the Falcons, just before halftime, now have 16, but still trail Notre Dame. 1:41 left in the half, and coming up, the Discover Card halftime report. Liam McHugh, Doug Flutie in our New York studio for scores and highlights from around college football. And Mike Florio and Peter King will join them to share their thoughts and memories on the passing of an NFL icon, Al Davis.
Tom, I spent about 5 or 6 hours in a conference room with Al Davis about 5 years ago. He was interviewing me for a personnel job with the Raiders, and I came out of that interview saying, wow, I was in the presence of a guy that was still mentally sharp. His perspective on the history of the NFL and where it was going was mind-boggling. He's the only guy in NFL history that's been an owner, a scout, a head coach. He's been on every side of the operation, and his loss truly will be felt throughout the NFL.
Wasn't he even commissioner of the old AFL?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Yep. Here's the kickoff. Soderberg boots it downfield. Taken by Atkinson. George Atkinson stood up and taken down at the 26-yard line, where Notre Dame will put it in play with 1:34 on the clock. And our aerial coverage today provided by Goodyear. Everything we've learned making tires that go the distance inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. James Cosmos, our pilot today. Eric Woodliff, the cameraman, giving you those gorgeous shots of the University of Notre Dame campus. If you're just joining us, the day is unbelievable here in the South Bend area at the University of Notre Dame. Clear skies, temperatures in the 80s, 82 degrees to be exact. It is October 8th. Handoff. Jonas Gray. Oh, Gray nearly broke it. Dragged down from behind by John Davis. And then a horse collar penalty marker comes flying in. 17-yard run by Gray. And tackle on the penalty.
Boy, that thing opened up like the parting of the Red Sea. Left guard Chris Watt.
This was really
personal foul. Horse collar. Number 6 of the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
It's really all Davis could do, either that or give up a touchdown.
Left guard right there, pulls out. That's Watt, gets on the second level. The rest of it's all Jonas Gray, and there is Johnny Davis with the horse collar. No question about it.
First down pass from Reese, but behind Michael Floyd, incomplete.
They were trying to invite Air Force up on Theo Riddick, who was in the backfield, and they pump faked him, and they were trying to get in behind on kind of a trick play to Michael Floyd. Good discipline, though, by Josh Hall.
Tommy Reese had completed 10 in a row before that miss. As we said, the Irish offense has not been stopped today. Maybe only the clock can stop them here. 1:15.
Three-man rush.
Plenty of time for Reese. He throws underneath to Riddick. Yep. Theo gets out of bounds with a little assistance from Anthony Wright with 1:08.
Tom, I told our producer Rob Hyland last night that if Tommy Reese played a clean game, I thought the Irish could score 45 points. I didn't expect 35 and counting in the first half, though. It's really been efficient.
Last time they scored 35 was against Pitt back in 2005. And they're looking for more here. That's Eifert. What's that, 7 receptions now in the first half for Tyler Eifert? And Davis is life and death to bring down the big fellow. That is 7 grabs.
Yeah, Matt Wallerstadt, right, their defensive coordinator, told us on the phone one of their biggest concerns was trying to match up with Eifert in the middle of the field, and apparently a justifiable concern.
A minute left and ticking.
They've got nobody on the slot guy. There's a problem right here.
Michael Floyd can hardly contain himself. His feet were moving. Now he sets.
They're trying to run under him with a linebacker.
Reese threw it into traffic. Lucky that wasn't picked off. He locked in on Eifert all the way and threw it right into coverage. Incomplete.
Yeah, this is a bad read here. Now, all you've got here is a safety and a linebacker buzzing. It's 3 on 2. Tommy Reese should know, why are you going backside? You got 3 on 2 front side. Wide open underneath was number 6, Theo Riddick.
2nd down and 10 with 41 seconds. In the pocket, Reese finally gets it to Riddick. Theo Riddick to the touchdown.
Manufactured touches for Theo Riddick. That was part of the game plan today. 3 to the field, crossing route. Theo Riddick comes clean underneath. Clearly beats Anthony Wooding. That's a mismatch. Their safety on Theo Riddick. Good job that time by Tommy Reese, picking the right guy, dumping it off. Another touchdown for Notre Dame.
24-yard touchdown strike. Reese has been red hot. He's 4 touchdown passes to 4 different receivers. Ruffers' extra point is good. Irish still have not been stopped. Touchdown on every possession. And with 32 seconds left in the first half, Riddick makes it 42-16. This week, your home for NHL hockey is on Versus. It all starts Monday as Alex Ovechkin and the Capitals face off against the Lightning. Then Tuesday, the Panthers take on the Penguins, and it all leads up to a matchup Wednesday between the Stanley Cup champion Bruins and the Hurricanes. NHL hockey this week on Versus. Tommy Reese, no doubt, wants to hear from his coaches upstairs now, reaping the compliments as he's thrown 4 touchdown passes in the first half. And 4 different receivers. You got to be proud of that, too.
No question. And all his teammates constantly tell us, Tom, how even-keeled he is. You don't know if he threw 4 touchdown passes or 4 interceptions. That's just his personality.
Wins his kickoff. This one just to the goal line. His legs getting tired. Warzika blasted at about the 20-yard line and thrown back. 27 seconds on the clock. And coming up, that Discover halftime report. Liam McHugh and Doug Flutie in the studio for college football scores and highlights. And Mike Florio and Peter King reminiscing about Al Davis, who passed away today.
Tom, if I told you Air Force would have 285 yards of offense and counting in the first half, would you ever believe they'd be down 42-16?
Flag down as Jefferson whips it downfield. Caught by Kauth. Caught by him in traffic too, or did they rule it complete? In any event, the flag appears to be on Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's going to be Gary Gray either for a hold or for a pass interference, one or the other.
Holding on an eligible receiver. Number 4 of the defense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
He's trying to hold on to Cal. Cal was fighting for an outside release right down here. Stays on him, holds. The ball's in the air. It's clearly interference. First down.
Jefferson completes the pass. Warzika is close to the first down. Does have the first down, but stops the clock momentarily. A gain of 11.
Soft 2 deep zone by Notre Dame. Jefferson's trying to get a play in. They call a timeout. You know, Tom, we talked about 203 rushing yards already in triple option. What does that really mean? We use that term too often. Well, here's the first option, the fullback. When that tight end, or excuse me, defensive end closes down, it's a pull for the quarterback. Now, option number 2. There's the hang defender, in this case, Jamar Slaughter. If he comes up, the quarterback runs. If he takes the quarterback, it's a pitch. Quarterback Jefferson pitches it, and now watch the cut. Warzika on the 3rd level at the alley defender, Harrison Smith. That's how you draw it up on a chalkboard, and that's how they've been executing it against Notre Dame's defense.
So 14 seconds left till halftime. Tim Jefferson Jr. from Atlanta, Georgia. Woodward Academy, football and basketball MVP there, also ran track. Former trombone player. He said it pains him to have had to give up the trombone. Just not enough time. And if you see the schedule of these cadets, you know what he means. Has a man wide open. And Warzika ducks out of bounds with still 8 seconds on the clock. That's a 15-yard pitch and catch.
Tom, you mentioned it earlier. It's kind of interesting when you talk to kids around the country at different schools, and you talk about what music is in your headset prior to a game, and usually it's some kind of rap, right? I mean, for me, it'd be skiddly bebop, bebop, Scooby-Doo, guess what? I'd be back there in the early 80s rap. Now, this young man plays Beethoven. Just amazing.
I should have known you were looking for a way to get that rap in. Yep, he says Beethoven's ninth makes him very calm. He just throws that one over the head of his intended receiver. With 3 ticks left, Mike Hunter was downfield, or Mikael Hunter, and it's incomplete.
Beethoven's ninth would make me wonder what was the deal with the first 8, because I don't get it.
That's why you didn't go to the Air Force Academy and have a nearly 4-point GPA.
Now, how do you know I didn't have a nearly 4-point GPA just because I didn't listen to classical music, huh? Trips to the field, last play of the half.
Throwing for the end zone. The Hail Mary goes up. And knocked to the ground with the Notre Dame defenders as the first half comes to a close. And the Irish offense very impressive in that first half. 6 possessions, 6 touchdowns. That's I know that we talked about your GPA, but that's perfect the way I look at it.
6 for 6.
6 for 6, 100%. And Alex is with Coach Kelly.
Well, Coach, nearly perfect first half on offense. Is this the most complete first half you've played this season?
Yeah, I think we were pretty good offensively. Made plays. Everybody pitched in. Michael Floyd, Theo Riddick ran the ball well. Tommy's made good decisions. But we haven't stopped Air Force yet, so we got a lot of work left.
You have a significant lead as you go into the half. What do you worry about? What do you guard against in the second half?
Well, I don't think we have to worry too much because we haven't stopped them yet. So, obviously we still got a football game in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, so at the end of the first half, Notre Dame, 6 touchdowns and 6 possessions, leading 42-16. Now stay tuned for the Discover Card halftime report. Don't forget halftime performances of the bands at NBCSports.com. Now let's go to Liam McHugh in our New York studio.
Welcome to the Discover Card halftime report, brought to you by Discover Card. It pays to discover.
Hey everybody, Liam McHugh alongside Doug Flutie. We just heard Coach Kelly said they were pretty good on offense in the first half. Yeah, just pretty good. Yeah, Tommy Rees has been exceptional, actually. Last 6 quarters, 462 yards, 7 touchdowns, and perhaps even more importantly, he has not turned the ball over once. What is Tommy Rees showing you today?
Well, you can see the confidence growing with every game, with every snap. His blitz reads, he's getting the ball out of his hands. The first touchdown pass he threw was kind of a jump ball, but it was Michael Floyd, one-on-one, so go ahead and put it up. Floyd goes up, makes the big play for him. Okay, that's worth a risk. That's the riskiest throw he threw. Everything else is in rhythm, step, throw, ball's in a seam. Blitz read, the ball's out on time. His recognition has been fantastic. Uncovered receiver, give it to him. And the last touchdown of the half, he got pressured. And all of a sudden, he knew where his quickest receiver was, and the ball was out of his hand. Reddick breaks a tackle, gets in the end zone. Great job.
Brilliant day at Notre Dame Stadium and a brilliant performance by the Irish offense in the first half. They lead Air Force 42-16 after the first half of play. And I guess you can say they were perfect. 6 possessions, 6 touchdowns.
I think both offenses were brilliant. I mean, let's face it, both offenses accumulated over 300 yards in one half. The difference being Air Force turned it over twice, and don't forget they tried an onside kick that didn't go 10 yards. Short field, Notre Dame took advantage of every opportunity.
Well, let's take a look now at our Northwestern Mutual doing the right thing.
Wow, were they efficient, Notre Dame, in the first half. 6 for 6. Michael Floyd sets the table. Big time catch, stays in bounds. Touch pass, Tyler Eifert in the red zone. Again, Robbie Toma getting involved with a touchdown. Drop your pad level, Jonas Gray, power of football. The quickness that is Sierra Wood. And finally, a little under route to Riddick. Make you miss. Drop the pad level score, doing the right thing.
That's our Northwestern Mutual doing the right thing. Charlie Molnar watching with pleasure from the press box.
You know, we don't give him enough credit. We talk about the head coach, Brian Kelly, so often. Here's the guy that works with the quarterbacks on a daily basis, and I think we can see the maturation process that is Tommy Rees.
Well, throughout the season, we're looking at many of the unique things in which Notre Dame students and professors are engaged off the field. And this week we take a closer look at an issue that has touched so many.
Everyone knows someone who has been diagnosed with breast cancer. I just never thought it would be me. Originally, I thought after being diagnosed that my doctors would be able to tell me, this is what's wrong with you, this is how you fix it. But I learned that ultimately the decision for my own treatment was up to me, which was very hard.
1 in every 8 women in the United States will face breast cancer at some time in their lives. At the University of Notre Dame, Dr. Stephen Beekler is working to improve the accuracy of information these patients receive about their diagnosis.
The biggest challenge in treating breast cancer is that there are so many different subtypes of the disease. To most effectively treat the patient, we need to understand her specific cancer.
By combining mathematics and molecular biology, Dr. Beekler has developed a genomic test that pinpoints the behavior of a patient's cancer and measures the threat that it will spread throughout the body.
Dr. Beekler's work is important in that it can transform the way that we approach breast cancer, because our goal is to have targeted therapy for each patient so that we can provide her the best chance for a cure.
My own battle with breast cancer has changed my life. I've now decided to be an applied math major and have begun working in Dr. Beekler's lab. And I feel so lucky that I'm able to use whatever misfortune I face to help other people.
The University of Notre Dame asks, what would you fight for?
Fighting to beat breast cancer.
We are the Fighting Irish.
Well, what's not to like if you're a Notre Dame fan? As Air Force came in banged up on defense, they committed a couple of turnovers and had a failed onside kick. And the result was that Notre Dame scored 6 times on 6 possessions. Though they haven't really stopped Air Force, they have a big lead, 42-16.
Been impressive watching this Notre Dame offense. Tommy Rees coming of age last week, his most complete effort against Purdue. Coming off a game at Pitt, Tom, where you and I watched the tape the other day. It was kind of sloppy early. Tommy Rees finished strong at Pitt. Big game last week, and look at the first half numbers. Wow. I mean,
over 600 total yards.
How the defensive coordinators feeling right about that?
Not good. Wow. Tommy Rees, meanwhile, is hitting on a 76% clip, 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers, and has not turned it over. Ty MacArthur now the deep man for Air Force as Brinza has it teed up to kick it off. And the second half is underway. Lacoste will return this one. Anthony Lacoste Reaches the 25, crosses it before he's ridden down. As we check in with Alex Flanagan.
Hey, Tom, well, Air Force head coach Troy Calhoun saying that his defense obviously has to get a big stop, some big stops in the second half. On offense, they have to get back on schedule. Remember, they came into this game with the goal of throwing the ball 15 to 18 times. Tim Jefferson has thrown 8 of 16 times in the first half. They need to get back on schedule and earn this game. Troy Calhoun told me they have pride. They want to come out and earn it.
So Air Force with the best field position to start a drive today. It begins from the 26-yard line. A hand to the fullback DeWitt. Crosses the 30-yard line. Got a 5-yard gain on first down. That puts them on schedule.
It does, and I think Alex made some interesting points there. In their 3 wins this year, they've averaged 11 throws a game. In their 1 loss against TCU, they threw it 21 times. They've got to stay on schedule, run the football. You're down 26 points, and more than anything, you need some defensive stops. Unbound set.
Option pitch. Clark picks up a first down. Nice gain for Clark. Flag down late. 15-yard run by Asher Clark.
Notre Dame really struggling with the third part of the option all game long.
Personal foul, clipping, number 25, offense. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, second down.
So the clip called on Mike DeWitt nullifies a good first down run.
And 25 is DeWitt, the fullback. Hard to believe that the fullback could get a clipping call unless he's coming up. There he is late, laying on the ground. Mike DeWitt late, dove at the back of someone's legs. Right there. Not only is that dangerous, and boy, I hate to see that. It's Danny Fox he clipped, and that's flat out illegal, and even more than that, it's dangerous. You can't jump on the back of somebody's legs.
Jefferson stands in the pocket, throws down the sideline, deflected incomplete by Gary Gray. Intended for Zach Calf.
Tom, he deposited Calf about 3 yards on the sideline. Watch him push him out of bounds up here. Good piece. He's out of bounds. You got to let him go now. The receiver has to work his way back in as fast as possible. And Gary Gray was in his hip pocket the whole time.
So 3rd down and 7 for the Falcons.
Off schedule once again.
Yep. Dropped. Pass was behind Warzika. Couldn't hold on. Would have been a first down. But the pass behind him and incomplete.
That penalty killed him, Tom. They've stayed on schedule when they run the football. As soon as the penalty by Mike DeWitt happened, all of a sudden you're off schedule and an awkward offense. And look who's back to return the punt.
That would be Michael Floyd, who's deep to return it, as David Baska will punt. Remember, he lined up in punt formation once before but faked it. So this is the first punt of the game for either team. Nice one by Baska. Floyd calls for a fair catch and makes it. At about the 37-yard line of Notre Dame.
Cannot make the kind of mistakes that Mike DeWitt did when he jumped on the back of Danny Fox's legs.
Turn to Versus before every Notre Dame game on NBC, where we'll get you ready for kickoff. And following every game, head back to Versus for a breakdown of all the action. We've got Notre Dame Saturday covered on Versus and NBC.
I think this Air Force team plays Army on Versus on November 5th, which if they win, it'll be a Commander-in-Chief trophy.
And coming up tonight on Versus, 7:30 Eastern Time start. Stanford hosting Colorado. Michael Floyd with a catch in traffic.
Well, there's the look Alex gave us pregame, talking about the differential between Anthony Wright and Michael Floyd. Floyd skies over Wright, the boundary corner, who's a good football player, but he gets in behind him, goes up high. That was my bad. That was John Davis, the free safety, coming over.
16-yard gain. Now in Air Force territory. And off to Sierra Wood. A couple yards.
Tom, I kind of enjoyed our visit with Sierra Wood and Jonas Gray yesterday when they came in together. It was kind of fun. They played off each other.
entertaining Jonas Gray and Sierra Wood. Sierra talking very fast. He said, you know, I'm majoring in film, radio, or television. And he said, I think I want to be on TV. I'm very handsome. And then Jonas Gray would tell a joke. And so we hand it off to Riddick. Another touch for Riddick with a flag down. And Jonas Gray is known as a comedian, a stand-up comedian, as a matter of fact. And Brian Kelly saying to us that he sometimes carried that over to football, but now he's become serious. And since that fumble that went 96 yards for a touchdown against South Florida, he has been excellent. His teammates picked him up. They said to us it never happened, and he has been stellar since then.
Personal foul, tripping, number 52 of the offense. 15 yards from the spot of the foul, second down.
Center Braxton Cave. There's a look at Jonas Gray.
Tom, I'm telling you, the first day I came to practice over a year ago and watched this team practice, I went right up to Brian Kelly and said, who's 25? I mean, that's a gifted kid, and he's needed to sort some things out. He's needed to take care of the little things, which he's done, and he's put himself, he's averaged over 8 yards a carry coming into today's game.
Now 2nd and 20, and Sierra Wood gets the call. Stopped just short of midfield. Alex?
Hey, Tom. Well, Jonas Gray's mom, Jerry, a retired police officer, was here watching that first game of the season when her son fumbled the football. Her first thought was this is going to traumatize him. But it didn't. Her son called him after the game. Her son called her after the game and told her, Mom, I'm better than that. It's not going to happen again. That was his message to her, and he has had a tremendous recovery from that. Not going to be labeled as a fumbler.
Coach Kelly said to him, how do you want to be remembered? And took that to heart. His teammates helped pick him up. And his mother, Jerry, as Reese fires incomplete. Nearly picked up on the rebound for an interception, but incomplete. Intended for Floyd. His mother was on welfare, and she decided she had to make something of her life. And at 28 years old, she went to community college.
Yep.
That enabled her to get a job on the Pontiac, Michigan police force. 14 years on the police force. And she said the proudest moment of her life was returning to the welfare office and telling them, I don't need you anymore.
That's really cool. Great story.
First punt of the day upcoming for Notre Dame as Ben Turk is on. Turk skies it. Fair catch called for and made by John Davis at about the 12-yard line. 38-yard punt with no return. So Notre Dame punts for the first time today. We still have the big lead, 42-16. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Experience truly great engineering today at your authorized dealer. By Northwestern Mutual, the power to predict your own financial future. By ADT Security Services, always there. And by Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Beautiful day on the lake and the Golden Dome there. We talked about this weather. Unseasonably warm today into the 80s as Air Force takes over. Clark. Nice run by Clark right at the first down marker. Talking about the beautiful day, as we were walking across the campus yesterday, passed by the Jordan Hall of Science, and a couple of professors and students had a couple of telescopes set up outside. And we said, what could you be looking for in the daytime? They said, well, we have these big thick filters on and we're looking at the sun. They allowed us to take a look at the sun to see the sunspots and the solar storms raging with flames shooting off the side of the sun. Quite an experience. We just so many interesting things around the college campus as we took advantage. Rob Highland and Scooter and I took advantage of a peek through the telescope.
You didn't give me that opportunity.
You were watching practice or film or something.
I think I was sitting on the bench with Charlie Molnar.
Second down and 3 for Air Force. Fullback, Cobb. Stopped just short of the first down, it appears. But this would be on schedule, right?
Yep.
Third down and short.
How about the tackle there? Chase Hounshell, true freshman, getting his first extended taste of varsity football here at Notre Dame. This kid was originally a University of Florida commit as an offensive lineman. Notre Dame coaching staff thought he had a nasty disposition that fit better on defense.
Bob Diaco, the defensive coordinator, saying, don't be mistaken now by that offensive lineman. He's not a plotter. You know, he's
an eager beaver. Didn't he say so? Yeah. He loves to get it going.
Close enough that they'll measure.
Pretty impressive group of freshman recruits that Notre Dame's got on the field right now, I'll tell you.
And it is just short.
Ball's about a foot short.
But third down and makeable for Air Force. With 10:41 left in the third quarter, Brian Kelly saw his team score 6 touchdowns on 6 possessions in the first half, aided by a couple of Air Force turnovers and an unsuccessful onside kick.
This is where defensive backs have to be really disciplined. Third and short, a lot of explosion plays this year in the Air Force offensive attack. If you've got man-to-man coverage, if you're a third-level defender, stay on your man. Make the tackle late. Tom, you hear assignment football all the time when you talk about defending the option, and that truly is what it is.
Jefferson keeps, finds a little alleyway and picks up the first down.
Right over his big right guard, A.J. Wallerstein.
A.J., of course, as we mentioned in the opening lineups, is going to be a physicist in the Air Force. He found that out. That was his first choice. He just found that out this past week and was elated that he will be a physicist. He has nearly a perfect grade point average in physics. And you can't believe some of the courses this young man's taking. Here's a quarterback draw by Jefferson. Crosses the 40-yard line. So we asked A.J. about, what would a typical day be like as the flags come flying. Look at this. Wake up at 6 for the morning formation, and then a little breakfast, or a lot in his case.
Yeah.
Physics capstone, quantum physics, a little social sciences, and then partial differential equations. Lunch for 25 minutes. Cadet professional military education, then football, then dinner, and then study. You better believe it.
The only things that were in common with what I did in college were breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And football activities. Personal foul called on Air Force on Daniel Pickett. As you look at A.J. Wallerstein, his favorite food is sushi. Now he weighs 290 pounds, so I said it must be a lot of it.
His offensive line coach, Clay Hendricks, said that he's the only guy that had even a single star next to his name when they recruited him out of high school. Notre Dame, of course, nothing but 4 and 5 stars.
Second down and 18 after the penalty. Jefferson rolls his passes too high over the head of Warzika, bringing up third down and very long.
That's a zone read play action pass. And the zone read comes from head coach Troy Calhoun's roots out in Denver with Mike Shanahan, then in Houston as the offensive coordinator with Kubiak. And Tom, I think it's intriguing when you play in a league, and it's third and long here, but TCU and Utah, those teams in their league are used to their triple option. They've got to do more, thus the zone attack.
Jefferson looked one way, turned the other, completes it short. Hunter makes the catch, but cannot run after the catch because he was wrapped up by Carlo Calabrese after a gain of 6.
Now, obviously, Tom, you're talking about the teams in their league. The coaches were talking about in the past, the Utah, which is now a Pac-12 team. But anytime you get third and long like that, just force them to throw it under, rally up, make a tackle. And watch the fake punt. Wallerstein, what a surprise. Wallerstein's talking to everybody. There he is right there, the big boy. He's getting everybody lined up. He had the key block on the fake.
Baska to punt. Michael Floyd lets it bounce out of bounds. So Baska's punt covers 32 with no return. Notre Dame will take over up on Air Force 42-16.
Down to the 5, down to the goal line, touchdown! Liner gonna try to sneak it ahead.
Under the lights in 2 weeks at Notre Dame Stadium, the Irish leading the series. SC is 4-1. Their loss was at Arizona State. They're off this week. Matt Barkley, remember him, starter at quarterback since he was a freshman, hitting at 71%.
Well, I can't wait for that one, huh?
The greatest intersectional rivalry in college football, Notre Dame and USC. 2 weeks. Notre Dame has next week off. Tommy Reese whips it downfield. It looked like a lot. Yeah, there's the flag. Like an obvious call as Floyd was being wrapped up by Josh Hall. That'll be pass interference.
Yeah, that's no safety help, post corner route, which puts the corner, Josh Hall, in a bind. You got Michael Floyd all by yourself. That's trouble. Right here, no
pass
safety help. Take
Number
them inside.
The defense.
Now work them back
penalty.
outside there. The hands clearly all over them. Good call. 15-yard penalty. Air Force has got to take some chances now.
And Michael Floyd, after being held to a subpar game by Pitt's gimmick defenses, bounced back against Purdue last week, having another big day here today. In fact, Pitt's been the only one to have stopped him all season long. One of the premier receivers in all of college football. Play action fake, and Reese sets his feet. Now rolls and throws it away.
Good decision. I thought he had Michael Floyd early, but the safety came over top. Got no problem when a young quarterback throws the football away like that. No problem whatsoever. Floyd down the bottom with Riddick. Now there's a safety coming over the top, but I thought he was late getting there. I thought he had a chance of hitting it in the hole early. But if you don't see it or you don't think it's there, throw it away.
See the numbers for Tommy Reese as he surveys the defense. Blitz comes to Floyd. Eifert with a block. And Floyd dives inside the 40. Looks like he picked up the first down.
Good call, good adjustment by Tommy Reese. They had an overload blitz coming play side. Waiwaioli's coming off the edge, 32. Good job getting it over his head, and now the block by Eifert in front. Floyd being patient, picking up the first down.
Here's Andrew Hendricks in at quarterback. As you look at the numbers for Floyd, Hendricks fakes, keeps. Andrew Hendricks lowers his head and gets another couple of extra yards. Inside the 25, John Davis was flat on his back as he finally got Hendricks down. 14-yard gain.
Zone read. He sees backside, nobody filling. Good job holding onto the football after the play fake, and that's what you get from Andrew Hendricks, an athlete with a big arm also.
Freshman from Cincinnati Moeller. Completes the pass that time to Eifert. To about the 18-yard line.
Be interesting now to see if Coach Kelly allows Hendricks to stay in and finish the drive, because Tom, in the first half it was always a play or two, and then Tommy Reese came back in. Right now, everything going in your favor. Give the kid an opportunity to finish.
Here's his senior numbers at Moeller in Cincinnati. Again, he's going to keep it after making the fake. And close to the 5-yard line before he's thrown back by Josh Hall.
That is a planned quarterback keep, because Zach Martin, the left tackle, is going to pull and up in the hole. They'll fake it here to Gray, and then it's a planned quarterback keep. Here comes Zach Martin, gets up in the hole. Look at that, Tom. You could run through that. Heads wide, drops the shoulder level, shoulder pads, first and goal in the 5.
And Reese returns. And tosses it to Jonas Gray. And Gray for the touchdown.
Power football. Just pull the right guard and the right tackle. Talk about the old school USC student body right and left. This is the more modern version of it.
As his mom joins the celebration.
There's a two-guard and tackle pulling out. That's Trevor Robertson, Taylor Dever. He cuts it back inside.
David Ruffler for the point after. Oh. It got through there, but just barely. So the extra point is good, upping the Notre Dame lead. Now 49-16, Fighting Irish leading the Falcons of Air Force. Jonas Gray gets the touch. .6:49 to go, third quarter. Notre Dame with another touchdown, leading Air Force 49-16. Jonas Gray scoring his second touchdown of the game, his first two-touchdown game in an Irish uniform. And there is a look at Troy Nicholas, the freshman at Notre Dame, lining up for the kickoff across from his brother, his older brother Austin, who's a junior at Air Force.
And they're literally almost across from each other.
Brenza's kick to MacArthur. The collision of the pads as MacArthur crosses the 30-yard line. So here's Tim Jefferson bringing his Air Force offense back out onto the field. .6:42 to go in the third. Our first down line brought to you by Xerox. And off to Getz. Cody Getz. A couple of tough yards. And for more on the quarterback Tim Jefferson, let's go to Alex.
Tom, you mentioned earlier his desire to be a pilot in the Air Force. He has an eye condition that might prohibit him from being able to do that. And nothing that makes him unable to pass the vision test right now, but he has a propensity to get glaucoma later on in his career, Tom, so he might not be able to be a pilot.
Jefferson completing the pass after he made a nice fake to Witt on the catch.
Jefferson to Witt.
We talked to him about when he made the choice to go to Air Force Academy. Why did you go there? Was it just to play Division I football? And he was quite emphatic that it was about being a pilot. And they're doing everything they can to mitigate that circumstance so that he can get some kind of acquittal and join pilot training school.
Getz. Again, tough yards. Alex?
Tom, unlike Troy Calhoun, his head coach, who also wanted to be a pilot in the Air Force and couldn't because he had depth perception problems, what this really boils down to is the Air Force is saying that they don't want to really waste the money on somebody who could potentially down the line have glaucoma and not be able to see. Tim really wants to be a pilot, though his coach saying he has a burning desire to do it and would be very disappointed if he cannot.
Last summer he took aeronautical and astronautical engineering classes and some pre-pilot training. Hope it works out for him. He does, as you said, Alex, so want to be an Air Force pilot. Third down for the Falcons. Quarterback draw to Jefferson. Just got a yard. Wrapped up by Cameron Lewis Moore to prevent the first down run.
Trips to the field. Just a typical quarterback draw. Now fourth down, Tom. We're going to have to go for it. 4th and 4. Triple stack. This has typically been speed option out of this or midline option in some of the earlier games.
Fullback Cobb fumbled. Scramble for the football. If he held on to it or got it back, they will have the first down. He has enough yardage for the first.
It's like Carlo Calabrese got his hat on the football at the last minute. They come out of that triple stack to give to the fullback. Watch Calabrese at the very end of the play get his helmet on the football right there. And then the ball pops loose. They get it back.
So Air Force now 4 for 4 on fourth down attempts today. 4 minutes to go in the third.
No fullback, but now 3 wide set with 2 wingbacks.
Toss it to Warzika. Can't get around the corner because of Robert Blanton. Well, there's Robert Blanton. We were talking about in Michigan State game when he's a man of few words and a lot of yes sirs and no sirs in there. And man, he has had a tremendous season. Jefferson play action fake, and the pass nearly picked off. And there was Gary Gray that should have had that one.
And if Gray didn't have it, Zeke Mata flashing over top from the safety position was going to catch it. One of the 2 Notre Dame players should have had it. Give Gary Gray credit for coming back off of it. He's got clear vision. You've got to catch that football. Look at it. And Mata coming over the top. He's like, man, if you're not going to get it, let me have it.
It'll be a first down to the 35-yard line in the arms of Asher Clark, an 8-yard gain.
You were talking about Robert Blanton, and I've watched tape of this team every week, every game, and both corners had pretty high grades by the NFL scouts coming into their senior years. Blanton's the one, though, that stepped it up to another level, and I think has really earned the respect both as a tackler and somebody that can play special teams.
And I bet his dad is watching this one intently because his dad is a retired Air Force. Warzika gets a few yards. Jamora Slaughter with the tackle. And there is Robert Blanton from the Charlotte area, though he lived all over the world, including Italy, when he was with his dad traveling the world as a member of the Air Force.
Love the long arms on him. 6'1". He's got rare height for a corner. Might even kick him inside to play some safety because he's got that toughness.
Asher Clark over 100 yards rushing now for Air Force. DeWitt. First option carries inside the Notre Dame 30-yard line.
For the most part, Notre Dame's been fairly stout inside. Where they've struggled on this double and triple option, it's been out on the edges.
Alchell got a piece of the tackle, the freshman, getting his feet wet, playing for the first time today, freshman from Kirkland, Ohio. Jefferson fumbled the ball as he tried to take it back from the fullback. After the scramble, it's going to be Air Force ball with 4th down.
Going to have to go again. See the line. Look how low that line comes out, driving down low. The ball at the mesh point gets kicked free. Good hustle to get it back.
So here they are on 4th down again. Perfect so far today. And they keep it going. Now 5 for 5 on 4th down conversions. Jefferson keeps and picks it up.
Second effort there. Kind of stones them immediately. Best plays per game. In this 24 in this game. Typically they average 11 when they win.
Jefferson winds up and he's complete to Warzika. Out of bounds in front of Gary Gray. Picked up the first down.
You know, Tom, one of the things I always talk about with Service Academy football, and I played against all 3 of them my senior year at Boston College, is that it doesn't matter what the score is. It doesn't matter whether it's 100 degrees or 20 degrees. It doesn't matter what the quarter is. They play with the same intensity throughout the whole game.
Notre Dame players even saying that to us. Getz is dragged down behind the line by Blanton.
Danny Fox blew this one up. Inside linebacker right here. Watch him blow this thing up. He's keying fullback right downhill on the fullback. Jacks him right back into the tailback. That's as good as it gets at the inside linebacker position.
15 plays, 58 yards on the drive so far as they toss to Warzika. Cannot turn the corner. That'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage by Harrison Smith. This is more a typical Service Academy drive, though, eating up the clock as well as the yardage. It's consumed over 6 minutes so far, and will bring the third quarter to a close unless they can get one off here.
They're going to try.
And Jefferson is sacked. Capron Lewis Moore.
Capron Lewis Moore, veteran from the left side of the quarterback, untouched. Great play, Capron Lewis Moore.
And that will bring the third quarter to a close. At the end of the third, Notre Dame leading Air Force 49-16. We'll return to Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local NBC station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. Notre Dame students reacting to the closing strains of Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture. The traditional playing by the Band of the Fighting Irish to bring the third quarter to a close. Tim Jefferson, under better circumstances, might have enjoyed that. Air Force lining up for a field goal from Parker Harrington. On 4th down and 12, a 32-yard attempt. Harrington sends it on its way and through the uprights. So Air Force has a long drive consuming over 6 minutes. They end it with a field goal to make it 49-19. The iconic Golden Dome on the University of Notre Dame campus, the administration building its Golden Dome. You see the fall foliage starting to creep in on the campus here. Meanwhile, back at Notre Dame Stadium, across campus, Air Force ready to kick it off after collecting a field goal. And Notre Dame with a big lead. The Irish offense has been spectacular today as the Notre Dame and Air Force cheerleaders do a little common cheer. A lot of respect between these two universities. George Atkinson with the return. Taken down as he crosses the 20.
Thomas, big day again for Jonas Gray. 7 carries, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. Came into the game averaging 8.1 yards a carry. Drops the pad level, touchdown. Follows the big guard tackle, Robinson Endeavor, touchdown. Mom loves it, fans love it. Sierra Wood, he loves it.
Well, Sierra and Jonas make quite a team. They had us in stitches yesterday as we spoke with them. Tommy Reese hands it off to Sierra Wood.
How about the glasses Sierra had on yesterday, huh? What did he tell us they were for? Like his boyish good looks or something? I'm not even sure there was any kind of refraction in those lenses. I think that was all about the look.
He said he was going to go to either UCLA or Notre Dame. This would be Sierra, and he's from Oxnard, California. Either UCLA or Notre Dame. He said, well, he wasn't even sure where Notre Dame was, but the combination of academics and athletics was too great to ignore. Here's Sierra carrying and turning the corner and being bumped out of bounds.
On cue.
And he said his mom convinced him that, you know, you're not going to play football forever. You better get yourself a good education, and there aren't any much better than a Notre Dame education. As he gains 23 yards.
There it is.
There are the glasses as he walked to the stadium today.
He said, man, I'm a handsome guy. I need glasses. Hey, look at him. Check it out. Glasses are sweet. Didn't he call his mom doom and gloom?
Yep. Said she's always looks on the worst side of things. So what if your football career is over? What if you get hurt?
Right.
What are you going to do? And he said that Notre Dame degree would be very beneficial. He also said that he didn't quite know where Notre Dame was until the first winter. Then he knew where it was. California. From Oxnard, he found out in a hurry where Notre Dame was when that first winter hit. Patrick Hennessy makes the tackle. Playing hurt is Hennessy. Weren't sure if he was going to be able to play today, and makes that tackle for Air Force.
I asked him if he the thing that's really stood out for me with him this year has been his patience. And I asked him if he understood the statement, patience to the hole, explosion through it. And he and Jones both started laughing and said, yeah, it's taken a while, but we're both doing a better job of setting up our offensive line.
Through the hands of Alex Welsh. Would have been his first reception, but incomplete.
See, what happens with talented young running backs, Tom, is when they get to that next level, high school to college or college to the NFL, they're always in a hurry because they're so fast. They're gifted. They're used to outrunning people. They lack patience, and then they gradually understand that there's a reason that they have these behemoths in front of them, and that is to time it up, give them an opportunity, set up a block, and then all of a sudden, yeah, that's when you can explode and pull away.
He said last year he wanted to make every run a big play.
Right.
And he's learned the patience that you mentioned. You saw his
False
gaudy
start.
numbers.
81 offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
John Goodman with a false start.
Tom, the comment I liked the most about that Sierra told us yesterday was the most proud runs he had. He said, I was trying to break everything deep like you, but against Pitt, 3rd and 1, when we needed first downs deep in the game, the ability to drop my pad level and tough it out for my teammates. And that showed me something. There's some maturity there. There's some toughness. And underneath it all, there's some pride.
3rd down and 12. Tommy Reese on the slant to T.J. Jones. Big game for Jones on his first reception of the game.
What a great throw that was. On time and a wonderful throw. 3rd and 12. Outside receiver's going to run, bang, and in. The throw, look where the throw's put. Wow, you can't do it any better than that. Good hand catch by TJ. Look at step throw, balls out on time. Doesn't allow the inside linebacker to make a play on the football. Kevin Jablonski. Boy, that's good.
And then a nice run after the catch. Here's Andrew Hendricks back in at quarterback and facing a blitz. Hands it off to Wood. A couple yards for Sierra. Brady Amack make the tackle. Amack with that 23 tackle performance against Navy last week, which is a Mountain West Conference record.
Keep in mind, though, that, and not taking anything away from that, because I watched the tape, it was beautiful. It was 102 defensive snaps against Navy. Almost unheard of number.
Hendricks is still the quarterback. The flags will stop that play. A false start, I would presume.
False start. 82 offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Alex Welsh.
Two things I know Brian Kelly won't be happy about. When you get false starts in the same drive by a wide receiver and a tight end, there's a problem. Should never happen.
Giving Hendricks the hurry up sign was Coach Kelly. Goodman chased out of bounds after his 2nd catch of the season. John Goodman, senior from Fort Wayne, a gain of 8.
Goodman is Floyd's backup, so that play would usually go to Michael Floyd. Good job by T.J. Jones and Robbie Toma blocking out in front.
Third down coming up for Hendricks. Gives Air Force a little taste of the option as he pitches it to Sierra Wood, and Air Force said, no, you're not going to fool us with that. Patrick Hennessy makes the stop.
That's right, Tom. We may have seen a little of this in practice, huh? Brady Means comes up the field, forces the pitch, and really good job coming downhill making the tackles. See number 9 get up the field, force the pitch right there. Sierra Wood on the edge, but look at him close. Really good job right there. 44 Hennessy.
Ruffer will attempt a 39-yard field goal on 4th down.
Had some problems in the kick game atypically this year.
David Ruffer kind of lost his mojo there for a while, but that one looks perfect. Right down the middle for David Ruffer. Notre Dame adds to its lead over the half-century mark now, 52-19. Look at that beautiful Goodyear blimp shot. Touchdown Jesus, the Hesburgh Library, the reflecting pool in front of it, and the trees changing color just adjacent to Notre Dame Stadium. where the Irish have put up 52 points. The last time they scored 50 or more was 2003 when they scored 57 against Stanford.
Good luck with that this year at Stanford.
Yeah.
Stanford on tonight with Colorado. Andrew Luck
on versus. John Lee is in to kick off. First kickoff of the season for John Lee, a freshman from Bethlehem, Georgia.
Yep, they got the flag on that. Ball will be Air Force on the 40.
Inauspicious start.
John Lee caught it out of bounds.
Waiting for the call, although it's pretty obvious.
He's let's have another discussion. There you go.
Well, the ball's already there at the 40-yard line. It has been for a while. Well, we get the idea. Kickoff out of bounds. Air Force from the 40 when we return. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Xerox. With Xerox, you're ready for real business. By U.S. Bank, member FDIC. By the G-Series, Prime, Perform, Recover. And by Toyota. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything we've learned making tires that go the distance inspires what we roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Can't imagine a better day to have the blimp on hand with those beautiful pictures they've been giving us all afternoon. Here's Connor Dietz in at quarterback for Air Force, the senior from Columbus, Ohio. This is the third game he's played this season. Former starter for the Falcons as Lacoste is upset after a short game.
Yeah, Dietz started 3 games in 2009 and will be granted a rare extra semester of eligibility next year. So you're looking at Air Force's starting quarterback for next year.
He'll come back and play the football season, then graduate in December. The coach has said it's very rare for that to happen, but he had an injury, and so Connor Dietz is the next season's future, one would assume, for the Air Force.
He said he has 4.5 speed, a little bit more of a runner than Tim Jefferson, but nowhere near the thrower that Jefferson is. And to be fair to the academies, even though they don't typically redshirt, they do have a prep school where a lot of times kids come to get acclimated, get their grades up, etc., before entering the academy.
Hit as he delivers is Dietz, and caught by Brandon Hernice. It'll be short of the first down, so a 4th down. Well, we enjoyed talking to some of these Air Force players, and Waioli, the linebacker, was saying such a pleasure to come to a place like Notre Dame. He'd been a student and a fan of college football, and he said when the game's over, he'll probably take a moment, survey the surroundings, and take it all in. It was an experience to play at famed Notre Dame Stadium. They would have liked the outcome, of course, to have been different. Basca's in punt formation. Goodman is going to let it go, and it reaches the end zone for the touchback. Notre Dame will take over at the 20 after a 54-yard punt. 8:22 left. Irish up big. The Go Irish sign is appropriate because they have gone for 52 points today and on the verge of winning their 4th straight game after beginning the season 0-2. So Andrew Hendricks, the freshman from Cincinnati Moeller, returns at quarterback now, and Cam McDaniel, freshman from Copper, Texas. And here goes Hendricks, the freshman, seeing his first action today. Stopped at the 1-foot line.
He had one little stumble around the 10 or 15-yard line. I knew he was going to get caught after that.
They'll mark him at about the 1.5, actually, 2-yard line. It'll be a 78-yard run, but just not quite enough.
And here it is, the foot race right here. And he got a little stumble right there on the 25-yard line. And from behind.
I think the stumble might have been fatigue, too.
Yeah, he hadn't run that far since Moeller.
They'll let him keep it, and he'll try to wedge his way on the sneak. Still waiting for the signal, and nothing yet. So I guess short again. Give it to him one more time. You see how close he is.
Uh-oh. Another freshman coming in. You've got Cam McDaniel, the true freshman, coming out. George Atkinson III, the other true freshman tailback, coming in.
George has not carried, although he did have that 89-yard kickoff return against Michigan State. Former star and son of George Jr., his dad, who was an all-pro defensive back with the Raiders. His twin brother Josh on the team as well. Here we go. Hendricks sneaks again. He didn't come close that time. They knew what was going to happen.
Brian Kelly's trying to reward his young quarterback, and he got smoked that time. Watch the hit. Listen up. His own offensive lineman, I think Trevor Robinson, got jacked right back in his face mask.
Well, you mentioned earlier that the Air Force, you can expect the service academies will not quit. That's something that Notre Dame players have been saying all week, preached that way by their coaches. Well, here we go again. Now it is third down. We'll hand it off this time, and a dive over the top results in a touchdown. So George Atkinson has the kickoff return for a touch and gets the 1-yard plunge.
And that's his twin brother he just did a high five with there. That is very cool. Josh Atkinson and George Atkinson III having the kind of fun that only twins can.
And poor Andrew Hendricks, after 78 yards, no points.
Coach Kelly said, I gave you a couple more shots at it, pal, but we're going in with the other guy who can jump.
Enough of that, huh?
Yeah.
Extra point is good. Well, Andrew Hendricks got his first chance to play for Notre Dame today. This one went 78 yards, but comes up, just short. Atkinson the score. Next Saturday, Andrew Luck and the 7th-ranked Cardinal take on the Washington State Cougars in a Pac-12 showdown. That's college football versus. Every game means everything. And on Versus tonight, you can see Luck and the Cardinal as they host Colorado. 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 kickoff on Versus. Well, Mike Bryko kicked that last extra point for Notre Dame, his first action. And Ronald Pierce of Air Force, give him a little credit. He's the man that caught Hendricks from behind to save the touchdown. So a hustling play for Pierce. Notre Dame with 8 touchdowns today, scored by 7 different players. Gary Gray has 2. Brinza to kick it off. John Lee is the deep man. That'll bounce into the arms of Lee. Hit hard at the 25-yard line and dropped at that point. Good special teams coverage by the Irish. Everything going their way today. And the freshman, well, George Atkinson, 2nd touchdown. Twin brother Josh, hello. Hendricks and Reese with an embrace. Notre Dame with an offensive explosion today against an undermanned Air Force defense, as the Irish have put up 59 points on the verge of winning their 4th straight game. Connor Dietz still at quarterback for Air Force with a pitch. And Lacoste, Anthony Lacoste, with a nice run for the Falcons of Air Force. The game began, if you'll remember, with some pretty good yardage gained by Air Force as Collinsworth and McCarthy make the tackle after 27 yards. And then a fumble But Ed Warner and the offensive line of Notre Dame have done a good job today. Ed Warner, of course, has ties to the Air Force Academy.
Sure does. Matter of fact, he was at the Air Force Academy back in 2000 as the offensive line coach. He's been in Army as an offensive coordinator. So here he is, Notre Dame's run game coordinator, familiar with the service academies. And we'll talk a little more about that after this play.
To the 45-yard line is Brome Hart.
Now remember, back in 2000, the classic, Air Force with a chance to win the game at Notre Dame on a field goal, which was blocked. Standing or squatting next to him was Mike Thiessen, the quarterback at Air Force back in 2000, who's now one of their offensive coordinators on the sideline. Tom, I was on the field the other day in practice, and I said to Coach Warner, do you have any memories? He said, memories? I couldn't sleep when I got home from work around midnight, and I turned on Versus, and there was a replay of the game, and I made my wife watch it with me.
Dietz on a keep as a first down. Sean Chouinard, the tackle. 9-yard gain. How potent has this Notre Dame offense been? Well, 6 possessions, 6 touchdowns in the first half. And during the game today, they've had 10 possessions, 8 touchdowns, and a field goal. They punted once. 7 trips to the red zone, 7 touchdowns.
They help that red zone percentage a little bit. It's only 53% in the game.
Dietz wide open. Pass caught. Still on his feet is Drew Coleman for the touchdown. So Coleman was wide open, and Connor Dietz hit him. Goes for a 36-yard touchdown.
Play action. Austin Collinsworth, I believe, has got this. Watch Collinsworth here kind of overrun 16, who crosses his face, realizes he's got to get back there, and Drew Coleman all the way across the field, catch, touchdown, well-designed play by the Air Force.
They'll go for 2.
Arbling at the line of scrimmage, telling which way he wants to go.
Here's the toss to Lacoste, and he gets the 2-point conversion. So with 4:32 on the clock, 8-point trip for Air Force makes it 59-27. So Air Force is getting set to kick it off after scoring and adding a 2-point conversion. A game that has seen over 1,000 yards of offense.
Notre Dame 554, Air Force 499. Wow.
Will Conant with the kickoff. Theo Riddick's going to return it and take a knee. And then he'll be hit for his trouble, and that, the fans say, should be a penalty. But I don't see a flag. So time for our Sprint Unlimited update. All football, no limits. And it has been an offensive explosion with 554 put up by the Irish offense. Jonas Gray, a big part of that. A career high 2 rushing TDs. And the Notre Dame defense forced a couple of turnovers, which they turned into touchdowns.
Big day for the offenses. Both defensive coordinators will probably be up late tonight.
1,053 yards total and counting. No, maybe not counting, subtracting.
That Nicholas? Austin Nicholas, I believe.
Austin Nicholas did make the hit on Cam McDaniel. So
he's going to come right up the middle on the tight end. 82 Welsh just doesn't get over here quickly enough. Really good aggressive play by Nicholas. Drills McDaniel, almost comes up with the fumble, almost beat the tailback McDaniel to the handoff point.
So Austin will have something to brag about to his brother Troy, who's a Notre Dame freshman.
It's a Pyrrhic victory there, Thomas.
Yes, I'd say so. Hendricks, hands off. Nice balance by McDaniel that time, and turned it into a nice run to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, McDaniel's a tough, smart kid out of Houston, recruited by Stanford, Texas A&M. Notre Dame got on him late, and one of Notre Dame's best coaches as far as recruiting is concerned. Tony Alford did a great job with him.
Gained 12 yards on that one, goes to the sideline as Atkinson returns.
Great basis for the future Notre Dame has right now. I think as good a defensive front as I've seen, and then you start throwing Atkinson and some of those kind of players in the mix. The future's bright.
Atkinson hit hard. Air Force still playing hard as they get some subs in the game as well. Joseph Champagne and Josh Cousin combined to make the hit there. Fourth down with the ball on the Irish 30. Clock ticking its way down to 2.5 minutes. As the Irish had the big lead at halftime. 6 touchdowns in 6 possessions. MacArthur is deep as Turk is in punt formation. Nice punt by Turk. MacArthur says, "I'll take it." Calls for the fair catch and makes it. So Air Force will get another possession here in the closing stages. 2 minutes 14 seconds on the clock. What does this say now as Notre Dame takes a week off and then gets ready to play USC in prime time?
It reinforces what we've talked about all season long, which is turnovers are a bad thing. Positive turnover differential is a real good thing. So regardless of how many yards Air Force gained today, +2 in the turnover differential, the onside kick, the yardage gained in that special teams yardage, I think all of that bodes well going forward with a week off in USC on the horizon.
Can we say now that this is the Notre Dame team that everyone thought they would see from the outset?
Tom, when they play clean football, let's face it, there are 2 losses early in the season to Michigan and South Florida. They gained over 500 yards in both games. So I think what we're seeing is a quarterback maturing. And along with that quarterback, we're seeing an offense develop along with them. And I don't want to say you can throw out the defensive numbers, but you sort of can against an option team. That's not who USC is. USC is a conventional team with a great young quarterback in Barkley. And how much fun is that going to be in prime time in a couple weeks?
And Barkley, the USC quarterback, tossed to John Lee. As the scores flashed by there, did you see what LSU did to Florida? How good is, of course, Florida was playing with the backup quarterback, freshman quarterback, but LSU looks awfully tough.
Yeah, I think most people think Alabama and LSU were on a collision course. But let me tell you something. Oklahoma, not in the SEC, of course, but Oklahoma made a statement today in the Red River rivalry.
The way they beat Texas.
Beat up on Texas big time.
John Lee carries again, as you saw a moment ago. Our first down line, as always, brought to you by Xerox.
So when I look at this team coached by Brian Kelly, as this quarterback gets better and plays mistake-free, more and more you sit there and they can win every game, and they're still in the BCS hunt for a BCS team.
Coleman with that catch from Dietz. Actually, it's Tucker Tipton in at quarterback now. So Tipton takes over the quarterback duties. Approaching the final minute. That pass caught. Brandon Hernice.
I applaud the catch and the effort, but get out of bounds, Brandon.
Yep. Now 58 seconds left. Air Force will go to 3-2, but remember they have a leg up on that Commander-in-Chief trophy, which is the most important thing for them, along with the conference championship. They beat Navy by 1 point in overtime last week, so a leg up on that Commander-in-Chief trophy. Strickland on the carry for Air Force.
Keep in mind, if you're a football fan, November 5th on Versus, Air Force against Army, and Tom, as you said, if they win that game, they win their second consecutive CIC trophy and another trip to the White House.
Lee waltzes in for the touchdown against very little resistance. So with 33 seconds left, Air Force scores another touchdown.
Triple stack. Good blocking up front. Bounces off McCarthy. Good run by the tailback Lee.
So both teams over 500 yards offense today.
Lee's a freshman. You don't see many freshmen get on the field for Air Force. They actually started one at defensive end today, Nick Fitzgerald.
Hart. Don't believe he made it. Did not. So the 2-point conversion fails. So Air Force will go back to Colorado Springs with a 3-2 record, and here's what's coming up for the Falcons as they take on San Diego State. Then, of course, they'll tangle with Boise State on a game on Versus. At New Mexico, there's that Army game you mentioned. Then they close out with Wyoming, UNLV, and Colorado State.
I think if you would prioritize the goals this team has every year, it's number one, the Commander-in-Chief Trophy. That's the most sacred for any service academy. Then number two, it's the Mountain West. And then after that, all these kids have this big chip on their shoulders about why they weren't recruited to any Division I programs, and they love games like this. Troy Calhoun telling us on the phone that they just have that healthy chip on their shoulder where, like a year ago, Oklahoma in Norman lost by a field goal in an eminently winnable game. So trust me, these kids think they can win every game they play.
Paul Evans, our statistician, has worn out 2 pencils. Look at that.
That's scary. Still trying to figure out this whole kickoff routine.
Will Conant is the kicker. George Atkinson. Taken down as he crosses the 25 with 25 seconds left.
George Atkinson on a return.
Well, Coach Kelly and the Irish will win 4 in a row and will take a week off before their primetime matchup. As
Tom, watch this real quickly. Watch Steve Filer's helmet pop off here. He'll pick it up and continue to block. Watch him. He's going to pick it up, and he runs downfield, and he keeps blocking with the helmet in his hand. Oh, boy. I mean, if you go pick it up, you might as well put it on your head, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Carrying it doesn't do a whole lot of good.
No, unless you're going to swing it. I'm thinking you wear it.
That'll be the final play of the game. Impressive offense today, and Notre Dame was just about unstoppable. The most points they've scored since 1997. 59 points as they beat Air Force 59-33. And let's go down to Alex with, we presume, a happy Coach Brian Kelly.
I think so, Tom. A happy Coach Brian Kelly. Is that accurate?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Air Force is such a tough team to play, and they do so many things offensively. I don't think we really, stopped them today. We came up with some key stops in the third quarter when our first unit was out there, and then we capitalized offensively, and Tommy did a great job protecting the football today.
All right, the lack of stops may be one of the negatives that comes out of this game. How about the positives, though? How does a dominating win like this for you on offense, how does it help your confidence?
Well, it just shows that we've got so many different weapons. Theo Riddick was big today. We ran the ball effectively, and I think our quarterback continues to do a much better job at taking care of the football. So those things are starting to come together for us. And again, like I said, playing Air Force, you just want to get a W and get out of town.
You got a big one, Coach. Thank you.
As the strains of the alma mater, Notre Dame, our mother, echo through Notre Dame Stadium after the big Irish win. Air Force players standing just behind the Notre Dame players in appreciation. lot of smiles on the Notre Dame sideline after a spectacular performance today by the offense, and the victory march doesn't sound much sweeter than it does after a 59-33 victory. And perhaps the most significant thing, Mike, is the fact that for the second straight game, Notre Dame had no turnovers.
And we're on the same page, because I think as that young quarterback goes, so will the Notre Dame offense. Play a clean game, you've got enough weapons to dominate.
Notre Dame players now head over to the sideline in front of the Drum and Bugle Corps of the Air Force for the playing of the Air Force alma mater, a mutual sign of respect from these two teams. Head over to Versus right now for post-game coverage, and for Brian Kelly's full press conference, you can go to NBCSports.com. In 2 weeks, the USC Trojans pay a visit to Notre Dame. First night game in 21 years at Notre Dame Stadium. That's live in 2 weeks, 7:30 Eastern. Sunday night football night as the Packers head to Atlanta to face the Falcons, and Bob Costas hosts Football Night in America, 7 Eastern on NBC. So for Mike Mayock and Alex Flanagan, this is Tom Hammond saying so long from Notre Dame Stadium.